but he's running out of time. No kit. He's just trying to fight away, at least get another frag, and it won't happen. Pesa going to get the final frag in the opening round. The opening salvo has been shot, and Team 1 will be victorious.
All right, there you go. The pistols. Living up to the billing that I'm giving them. Here we go. A little investment coming through. Scout going to be out for Junior. Kind of a half buy-ish. Nope, now they're all the way in. Junior saving a little bit extra money to maybe get towards that AWP early on. They are going to go ahead and invest. Smoke's available here for the CT side. Let's see what they do. Junior watching for that first fight in towards mid. He has been tagged. And without armor, that tag is punishing. Can get a shot off either, so he will fall back away, and they have taken a fair bit of space here in towards mid, John.
Indeed, they have. And now Team 1 actually going to favor those apartments towards the B site. 3 players moving up, and you see Maluk preparing some utility to be tossed on over in support. The Bad News Bears forcing up, of course. 4 Deagles and the Scout. Spongy gonna toss a flashbang forward. That will blind Team 1 and force them to hold back a little bit. But that Molotov tag Spongy. Will he get the advantage underneath window? They're not looking for him. He gets one. Looking for a second? No. PRT reacts quickly enough to deny any more damage being done. PRT spamming the smoke as well just to make sure that no one is lurking. Cheeky spot. Pesa, drop and shake, and that should be the round.
It is decidedly going to be the round. The question remains, can they save this Scout and the armor and deagle of Mr. Brendan Willis? Deagle picked up by Junior as well. Free real estate. Added benefits. But what they won't be able to take is the round. Not at all. Not even a hope. Not even a whisper. Certainly not at this juncture.
Yeah, reminder that yesterday, Team 1 did take this map 16-14. Eagles gets that very beautiful, rare Deagle inspection animation. I do love to see that. And what he doesn't like to see, of course, is another round going Team 1's way.
Zeus out for Sheikh Zula. All right. Kings of Content move over. Sheikh Zula is bringing the content here. Where's he going to go with it? Where is he going to go with it? Has 127 ADR. Oh, I guess he's getting a kill around. That doesn't make sense. Oh, they're coming. They're coming. Okay. Okay, it's gonna happen, John. It's happening. It's happening. Sheikh Zula Doom Zeus Cam. Yes. Yes. Give it to me. Give me the Zeus kill up close and personal. Sheikh Zula in their face. He's got it! He's got it! Spongy follows up with one more. The flashbang was good. Swishers dropped a body. This could be the round now. It's not just the Zeus kill. It's so much more. Spongy pops a little early. A bit, and Team 1 are starting to recover. This is getting dangerous. Maluk's so low. Maluk is so low, but Junior can't connect with that Scout. He knows he's got a player hemmed in towards the van, but the nade hasn't found Maluk. That will, though. B-Wills with the AK. It's all on to X and S. These are the 2 players who saved their weapons, so they've got the armor, but it comes down to B-Wills and X and S matching up against each other, and X and S drags it back through. Oh, Team 1 just had their bacon absolutely saved by X&S. That looked catastrophic.
That Zeus, I don't think I've ever seen just a player charge forward and gain that much space with the Zeus without being spotted and find the frag. That is just a ballsy play from Shake. Shame the Bad News Bears couldn't pull it off, but X&S needed his second ace of the iBUYPOWER Mythic Masters to secure that one, and he hasn't even died yet. He's 7-0.
Yoy, X&S. Actually can't believe they brought that back.
That was crazy.
Actually can't believe they brought that back. Wow.
Correction. Can't believe X&S brought that one back. Right?
That's true. Yeah, don't give it today. X&S brought it back, but Maluk gonna start the party here. That's one down and out already. Spongy dropped. Russia chilling. Shake Zula. Oh, Shake Zula. Someone's watching for this, but the timing could be everything. When's he going to come around the corner? Smokes out for PRT. Spidey sense tingling for Shake. No, he's not going to make the move just yet, but he should have a ton of info. Did he hear any audio cues? He's got the spacing. He's got this control. Is anyone going to come poke in? They haven't given any audio cues. They're wary of someone coming around from Palace. You can see they keep reaching back to check it. Mobs aware of what could be happening, and now Shake makes his move, but they've already moved on to site, so they've averted disaster. They've avoided the danger. And with no one on the site to slow this down, Shake is going to have to move quickly to get to the angle, but he's here. He's here. Now they've forgotten about it, and that's 1. That's 2. 3 for Shake. He's got it. Drops the bomb as well. Broke my voice there, Shake. In addition to breaking the round wide open, Maluk stuck top mid. Can't do anything about this. Not with 20 seconds to go. He doesn't even have time to consider this round. Might just try and dip back in for 1, but Shake Zula will not allow him to have it. A 4K for the IGL as he does it all himself. A patient player on the flank, and he brings it through.
Yeah, we're getting the Shake we saw yesterday against both Team 1 and Extra Salt. In fact, he was the top frag on Ancient with 23 for the squad. So it's great to see the IGL getting into the action here for the Bad News Bears and helping them get on the board. Team 1 going to call a timeout after that, because obviously they completely overlooked that flank that Shake pulled on through, and a great transfer for him as well to find that third. Alrighty, double op setup now for the Bad News Bears. Spongy rocking 1, Junior the other. And over on Team 1, well, the economy's not doing quite that well, and that means they're probably going to just go for an eco. You can buy some P250s here, perhaps even a Deagle for Mobs, who's quite surgical with it. But outside of that,
I like how Pesadelo's player cam is very focused on the top of his monitor in front of him. So he's nice and fuzzy behind it. We can have some real detail on that monitor, though. See the ribbing on it? I don't know what that would be called.
a grill?
Grooves? The grill.
Isn't
There
it like
you
a...
go.
Yeah. That's where the heat will escape, I guess.
Okay, Mob. The Mob's Deeg, man. Always threatening the nades into window as well. Punish Junior. And now this is a round very much in doubt. The Bad News Bears forced into pressure. Shake Zula playing the spongy spot. It's not spongy, though. It's Shake, and Shake is good for 1. Shake and bake, but a knife kill comes through from Pesadelo. He's gotten down the ladder, and it takes 2 stabs, but they both connect. It's a 2v2 now. This round's still recoverable, but money's been made. We've already had a Zeus kill and a knife kill. Kings of Content, who?
Oh, man. Going for the jugular there, Mike. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy that we thought we were going to see some of that over in that previous BO3, but nothing, nada. And this time, we've already got delivered on, like you said, that Shake Zeus, which was crazy. And here, Pesa sneaking up with the knife. Now they're going to try and recover the bomb. Swisher's waiting at top mid. He's looking the wrong way, though. Doesn't even expect him to be at connector. Pesa's taking it very cautiously. Now he's going to grab it, and they'll be free and clear to get this bomb plant because not really anyone in sight. Spongy's obviously watching from Cat here, so I'll have to be careful not to plant it in that direction, but they know.
They're wise to it, an XNS! It's a critical shot. Now Spongy locked on out. They know where he's coming from. What does he want to do if they don't give him an opportunity? This is going to be so tough to fight, and I think that drop is even heard. So XNS is well repositioned. A smoke's going to go up to cover it and give Spongy a chance to move through. He waits out the timing, but he doesn't fancy this. He doesn't fancy this, and you can't blame him. There's nothing working for him. There's just nothing to do. He gave it sort of that prod in to see if something would deliver itself to him on a silver platter, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, kind of a shame there for the Bad News Bears. After getting that one round, it gets isolated. And the thing is, you know, if you look at the scoreboard, it's really XNS, the one that's popping off. And Malb's a little bit far behind on the scoreboard, only at 2 and 5. But certainly, I mean, Malb's wouldn't mind getting a bit of a break sometimes, right? And letting someone else take care of the fragging duties.
Yeah.
That was a nice shot, though. Wow. Wow.
Little stabby stab. I can't believe he went for it there, right? Because obviously the safer play is just to look down there and get the kill with the gun. Peepo likes the knife action too. Creeping on in. Check it out. Pesa, the juice is flowing, and it's continuing into this one. 2 quick kills off the rip. It was going to be a tough round to begin with, but now it's looking nigh on impossible. Junior wants something in a gun, but it's just going to be the P250. I think he thought there was a Deeg dropped. Went looking for it, but it may have dropped out of the window. I think it did. Look at the body. Look at the ragdoll. Slumped. So Team 1 showing some patience here, seeing if someone else is going to peek. And, well, they will. So now it all falls to Shake Zula. And that is going to be a round they are completely blanked out of. Not damage going back the other way. Team 1 emerge with a 5-1 scoreline, and they are looking good here on Mirage.
I mean, X and S, almost 2 frags per round at this point, up to 10. Ay, ay, ay. Gotta slow him down. Maluk also performing quite well with the big green. He's up to 6. Bad News Bears now do get themselves back on the rifle buy-up. They got 3 ONSs, the A4, and of course Junior on that big green. Junior's been kept off the board so far, but that won't last long. Pesa goes down right off the bat. And the 5v4 edge belongs to the Bad News Bears. 136 on the clock. Malbs is already pushed out here. Shake didn't even realize it, and Malbs gets the response. That's a big one. Here come the smokes. The utility sailing on in. This should be the A site taken for Team 1, and they still have to lurk at top mid. I'm not sure the Bad News Bears are going to be looking for this one at all. Well, they were.
Reposition. Yeah, PRT catches one, and Maluk follows it up. B-Will's cleaned out. They're going to go through the smoke. That's so bold. Swisher. Yeah, I'd been able to catch that. This would be a very different round. Problem is now PRT's flanking out. Swisher's aware. PRT is quick on the trigger. Hold on to Junior. Well, that's cracked onto the board at this point, but doesn't fancy his chances with the health that he's got, and he's got way too much value to give it up. He's going to go ahead and save. This will be 6th round gained for Team 1. They're on a roll here.
Oh, man, just such a shame after Junior gets the opener, right? It's just, they didn't realize how far up Malbs had gotten. Shake goes down, and then all the pieces start to kind of fit together for Team 1 on their execute over towards A. Now they're hunting for Junior. They really want to take this op out of his hands. If PRT takes a right turn, he should be able to get it. No, Junior with the no-scope denies him and will save the op into the next round at the very least. But yeah, that was a great opener. Just the Bad News Bears couldn't build off of it.
Timeout called here. Apparently Malbs has posted Gene time in chat as Junior went off to save that AWP. It's just a little sneak peek there for you folks in chat. A little inside scoop. XNS is 10-1. That ain't bad.
I mean, if you recall in the playoffs for Team 1 when they went to Pro League, when they beat Extra Salt in the playoffs a couple seasons ago, right? XNS was just lights out impressive. After struggling throughout the regular season, he just stepped up his game to another level, and that was the reason why Team 1 were able to have so much success. If he continues to play like this, if we get that consistent XNS, we talk about it so much, consistency is the word of the day for Team 1, and I'd say the word of the last few months. If they get that, they could be so dangerous. If we see this Team 1 all the time, right?
Yeah. I mean, the thing about XNS, right, is when he's hitting, he's the star.
Yeah.
And that would be a really cool development for this roster and for XNS personally as well. And we're seeing it more and more. Again, he is emerging more and more. First, it was that complete outlier playoff run. Then it was, okay, well, now we're seeing him more come and make this happen occasionally. And I feel like he's just getting better and better map to map. Swisher, though. That Deeg is hitting. It connects. Round is somewhat in doubt. What a shot from Swish. Does it with the Deeg. Malb's usually the one who's fond of doing that, but he can't cross to regain the rifle. PRT putting him down. B-Will's on the flank. That drops the bomb. He gets the second as well. Guns will be stolen away. What a round for the Bad News Bears to get back on the board. They snatch a double up. They snatch a rifle. They snatch back up an economy to play with.
B-Wills and Swisher, the Deagle duo there. 2 beautiful shots coming through from both players, and they do steal away a second round. They need to build off of it this time, and the thing is, speaking of building things up, Team 1 has done that with their economy. They have 4 AKs and the op along with full utility here, and they can be set to buy for the next round regardless of what happens here, and Pesa just walks right out, finds B-Wills, trying to get into jungle, and Junior, well, he's smoked off now. Shake trying to recover. He will burn mobs to an itty-bitty crisp. Also doing the damage with the A1S. The thing is, Team 1's taking the site, and there is XNS again, finding Swisher. Critical frag coming through, and the Bad News Bears, their economy is, it's okay for B, Will, Spongy, and Junior, but Shake and Swisher could be better shape.
Ooh,
Shot.
okay. I think it's a good one. Almost
Oh,
looked like it might be a
alright.
Kalak going back the other way. And now Team 1, well, they're running out of bodies here. PRT and Pesa going to try and hold on. They do have strong positions to do so, right? Tetris and Palace. It's not bad. It's just Tetris. Okay, what is happening here? The ops have turned on in a big way. Under the bright lights, PRT will be dug out. What a round for the Bad News Bears. Time enough for the defuse. And here we go. The wheels are starting to turn. And that is dangerous news for Team 1.
Wow, yeah, I honestly thought Team 1 was going to pull that off, but it's the ops for the Bad News Bears from Spongy and Junior that bring it back, and then Shake cleans out PRT, who just really couldn't do much of anything. I like that play for the Bad News Bears. Stick to defusal, send Shake around the corner, around those boxes, so they can get a nice angle on Tetris and take out anyone who might be sneaking around. So, Bad News Bears do indeed find a second in a row, but Team 1 still have enough to get a full-on buy-up. I saw you, Peepo. I saw you, Peepo. Peepo be peeking. He's peeping.
He can smell the timeouts. He knows that's when he gets let out of his cage.
Yeah.
Ooh, Seinfeld, Peepo. Funky bass, Peepo. Peepo getting funky, man.
Well, the timeout is now ending. And Team 1, they still have what is going to be their last buy should they lose this round as well. They'll have to eco after this, but they're going to give the old college try. Heading towards that B site. One player is already pushed up into the apartments. That's PRT. He wants to make some noise, get some utility thrown, maybe draw over some rotates. As it stands, maybe a little more aggressive from Swisher out of market, but he's soon going to fall back, realizing that no one is home here. XNS, along with Maluk, going into Palace. They have to be careful here. Shake on balcony. Could do the damage if they don't clear him out effectively. A nice Molotov would be good here. Do they have the Molotov? I think so, yeah. XNS.
I mean, they might get committed down below the ladder, right? They don't often play someone up on top of the balcony. You've got Junior to be that first point of contact. Yeah, that's what they do. They try and clear it out, but he gets one, not the second. It is a bit of a one-and-done unless you have a player to play off of, and the nades are going to chase Junior back. He can't afford to stay around, not with the health available to him. And meanwhile, look at the lurk coming out of the apartments. Sorry, yeah. Right out of apps on in. That's space gain for PRT. Malls has got a kill on site. They may not even need the lurk to come to fruition because, well, they've just got the bomb planted. They're very comfortable with it. Now in the post plant, they got a player coming from the other side of the map. And a molly will start to burn Spongy. He will not get away. No escape. No way out. Bad News Bears locked out of this round in a big way, and PRT waiting to see if they come into his crosshairs. They try and save. Just hoping.
Oh!
What? Don't even need him. PRT's like, man, I had a great lurk that whole round, and I didn't get to do anything.
These 8 takes have been really effective for Team 1, right? I mean, the Bad News Bears certainly have been able to retake it a couple of times, but Team 1 consistently getting that bomb planted to dirt. And now they have themselves a 7th round victory. That said, Bad News Bears are still able to invest in a double op setup. This time it's Shake taking care of the secondary opping duties. First Junior on that primary big green gun. 3A1S is rounded to buy, and Junior again getting that perfect jump towards Cat. Doesn't see anyone this time. Team 1 playing a little more passively, but they are set up for a potential A hit. 4 players waiting for this. Just want to get their Palace player in position. Here come the smokes. Shake. Get the opening shot, goes through the smoke with the shot and can't connect on it. Now trying to fall back, gets flashbang thrown. XNS closes the gap, gets one, B-Will trades him out, tries for a second, he finds it. Advantage to the Bad News Bears, only momentarily though, as Maluk burns B-Wills alive with the Molotov. 3v2 for the Bad News Bears as Swisher finds Maluk. Back and forth, madness here, Mike. Who is going to get the advantage?
Oh, tough to say. Mobs. Healthy player. Just got to do the work here. And he's dead. So it won't be mobs. They won't get the plant either. Pace has got to venture out into the open. He's like, come on, guys. I'm limping here. 2 points of health. You're going to make May make the move, so he'll go to the AWP to have the chance, at least, to connect that first shot and be done with it. Got 40 seconds, but that Molotov now limits his options. Could have maybe just dipped off and gone towards B, but now he's committed into this fight. 30 seconds to go. Doesn't want to plant, wants to win the round. And even if he tries to plant, box spam might be enough to keep him off of it. Tips it, taps it, and down he goes. There was just no way to take that. Once he loses mobs on the site, it's nigh on impossible, and indeed, it will be.
This was yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, no. Mine's stupid. Go for yours.
Okay, I was just going to say it was an important play for B-Wills to get that 2K and really bring it back for the Bad News Bears, because if he only gets one and he's done, then Team 1 walk out with more of an edge and have more map to kind of exploit. But B-Wills, make sure to shut things down. What was your...
I was going to ask you. We can save it for a less important round, because this
Okay.
one seems like it's going to be going
Sure.
quick. Trust me, I'll save that one. I'm going to put it on the back burner.
I got
I'm going
you.
to simmer it. Now I'm going to create expectations. It's not that good a thing. Don't worry, folks. Don't get excited. Tag on to Pasadale. Trying my up-mind pronunciation here. Pasadale. I feel like that's what he does. I don't know exactly. I can't hit the same notes as Mr. Guster when it comes to the Portuguese.
No, he's got that on lockdown.
He does have that on lockdown.
As he should, yeah.
being Brazilian, it does make some sense.
Exactly.
That of the NA casting talent, he's kind of got that department on lock. Sheikh Zula's up. He's about to have a prime opportunity here. They are going to face him as the smoke fades. Oh, he's not looking. He's not looking. Shake. You're the opper. Stop throwing util. Set up for the kill. Now he's back around, but they've already dropped down. Oh, Swisher doing the work. Needs to do it, but he will be dug out.
Good
He's going in.
Molotovs.
Bomb's going to be planted. Great Molotovs. Gives them the space for this. And for the retake, they're going to start to send Junior around, right? Junior's going to work his way up catwalk, but they need to wait a tick for him to get in a position. And meanwhile, oh, the boost has come through here. Who's that up in the corner? PRT? PRT just tucked up. Playing this as they come out the market door. He's going to check the first, so it won't be a ninja spot, but it is an off angle, and he misses this shot. Now they know. He's a little compromised. He's lost his teammate as well. They know where he's at, and they're going to clear him. Defuse on, round claimed, and that will be the Bad News Bears to find a fifth. All right, now, John, here's the time for my stupid question.
Okay.
Of the Peepos we've seen so far tonight, we've got iBUYPOWER Masters Peepo. We've got Mythic Peepo. We've got Devil Peepo, Angel Peepo, Foon Peepo, Seinfeld Peepo. Which Peepo are you?
Oh,
We had
God.
to be a Peepo.
Seinfeld people?
Yeah?
I guess.
Feeling funky?
Just funky, yeah.
Rocking the Seinfeld Peepo.
There you go. But in that previous round, PRT, look, I mean, he misses a shot, yes, but that's not the easiest one to hit, right? It's just a narrow moment that you have to kind of connect on it. It was a very quick peak coming through from the Bad News Bears. So, you know, he misses it, but it wasn't exactly the best of situations for him to capitalize. Anyway, Spongy going to be priming some utility. A flashbang going to be thrown here. B-Wills, ready and waiting. Oh, he spots the head. That's information gain because you know someone's at sandwich as well, so he can communicate that. But XNS takes down Spongy. Can they get another one on B-Wills?
Oh,
no, he
my
lines up
goodness.
too. XNS still gets that shot, but he's the last one standing. He has the bomb on his back. He tries for a plant, but doesn't get given that opportunity. Swisher finds him, ends him, and gives his team the win.
Bad News Bears dragging this back nearly to a tie. We still need to talk about XNS a little bit. 14-7. This guy is a monster right now. My goodness. Whew. Timeout going to be taken by Team 1 again here as they figure out what they want to do, how much they want to invest, and where they want to bring it. This could be a critical round. Obviously, there's only 2 rounds left of the half.
Right.
But considering what massive lead they built up to early on, 6-1, if I'm not mistaken, I'd like to get a little more out of this.
Absolutely. Yeah, they were 6-1. Bad News Bears really did pull this one back. Look, you got 2 rounds left. You got to go for the AKs. You're going to have $2,900 loss bonus coming into the next round. You'll be able to get Galils, Mac 10s. It won't be too bad should you lose this one. Winning one is even better. So put yourselves in the best position to do that, and they absolutely are. 4 AKs and the Galil over on the Bad News Bears, though those double ops have really been haunting Team 1. Shake and Junior doing work with them. And of course, Swisher has been picking up his game towards the latter parts of this first half. DRT going to be the one take the early peak towards top mid. Junior consistently coming to this position, so they have to expect it at this point, you'd think. And yeah, they throw a few flashbangs to force it down just a tad. Gives Pace a little bit of space, but he's not looking in that direction. Great peek from Junior. Opening frag belongs to the Bad News Bears as they're aiming to tie this one up at 7-7. Is Swisher going to peek out here? No, he backs off. Wants to play it more passively. Just wants to make sure no one can get towards Cat without him seeing.
So it seems like they are going to test into the apartments, and Junior's posted. Junior's posted. Mr. Unia, ready for them. He's got the pixel angle. Now that's a tough shot to hit on line. On land, it's still a tough shot, but like online, unless they're slow walking it, oof. Which admittedly, usually they slow walk it.
If you see the barrel, then maybe. Like if they try to peek, right?
It's going to hit the first. Able to fall away. Got a teammate to support as well. Just needs to get safe back to the back of bench. Does he know players dropped already? He should know. But he misses the shot. Unable to chamber the round. Spongy only gets one, but Swisher's on the scene. Swisher's on the scene to help on out. That leaves everything to XNS again, but it is XNS. He's juggling guns to try and make this happen. He's taking spam damage through the smoke, and wow, he's not long for this world. Swisher polishes it off. 2 big kills in the round. Limps through with 3 points of health, and we are all tied up here. It's anyone's game.
I'm just surprised they weren't expecting Junior in that position, given how he's played it up the round. Well, anyway, Bad News Bears on a 6-1 run right now, looking to make it 7 against a Team 1 squad that, as mentioned, no, they're a little tight for cash as they forced up in that previous one. A Galil, an AK, 2 Deagles, and the Scout. One of those Deagles actually not involved his hands. He wants to go for the AK.
Little strap for cash.
Yeah.
Little broke. Little wrecked. Economically ruined, one might say. But they're going to test A. They're going to make their way on out of the ramp, but that's a miss from Shake. Oh, opportunity given over. B-Wills tries to focus on the players below him, doesn't realize there's still one up top. Equal feast there, and now the numbers are getting a bit bad. Junior blowing it up. What a great flashbang. Spongy at least brings that back, but Team 1 might have just salvaged the most improbable of rounds. Spongy himself a bit of space. How did he get that kill? Bobs did not realize he was into the angle. Spongy has brought this back to a 2v2, and this bomb isn't even planted. Pesa is playing a very cheeky angle, so there's no way he expects that, but Shake has a chance at the clutch. And Maluk eventually is going to have to leave his safe haven, his safe harbor. Shake knows he's there, but wants the next. If he can get this kill on the player coming out jungle, then he can snap around knowing where the Palace player is, but he'll miss! An unfortunate whiff there for Shake Zula, and a final kill coming through from Pesa as we head into the halftime break. Advantage, however slim, it goes to Team 1.
Yeah, if Team 1 loses that round, you have to think, oh goodness, what do we do now, given we had such an edge and then we let it slip away, but they don't. So they end the round win streak, at least for the Bad News Bears, and go into the second half with a lead. But it could have been a much bigger lead if the Bad News Bears didn't strike on back and were able to really claw together quite a few rounds.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it is crazy that considering how well XNS was continuing to hit throughout the game, and considering how much of a bevy of rounds Team 1 had early on, that it is this close. XNS is 17-9 right now. It's a monstrous performance, and he's going to start off the second half. Of course he is. Right off the rip. For more of a fight, XNS won't have anything going in this round, and Spongy answers back. Spongy as well is having a good game. Now up to 11 kills. Mobs, though. He's the ace in the hole. They should be well aware of this position, seeing as they do like to play a player here quite often, do the Bad News Bears.
Watching it.
There's Crossfire. He's not yet. Here's the poke on out. Mobs gets one. He's looking for more. He's got the more. Now creeping up the ladder, and a third for Mobs. that, Mobs. Just snatching away kills, and that's the smile coming out.
Yeah.
I might just get the juices flowing.
I mean, look, Spongy gets the openers, and then Malbs just bides his time, waits for the right opportunity to peek out, and then when he does, no one is watching. Both players some sandwich easy frags, and the third one didn't see it, but man, it was impressive for him to pull that one off for his squad. 9-7 for Team 1. The Bad News Bears relegated to Glocks only because the bomb plant did not come through. Team 1 could feast here with the MP9s and the 2 FAMASas. They also have the A1S. Mob's already upgrading to that point. Eagles, he's just going to peek around towards top mid. Bad News Bears not going to go for an all-out rush with these Glocks. They want to take their time. But speaking of pushing up and rushing, it's Team 1. That. Walk into some Glocks here. And Pesa, yeah, you have to be careful. They're just pistols, just Glocks, but when there are 3 of them shooting at you, not the best of plans.
Trying to lure him into a trap, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do. Pace is not taking the bait. He's no for now. Minute on the clock, with none of his teammates having seen anything either. He has to have that spidey sense of like, well, I've seen somebody. They haven't chased me. And no one else has seen anyone. What does that imply? It's a trap. And he will actually get caught. There we go. Admiral Akbar was right. But he's the only casualty in the round. I like how everyone knows that guy's name, despite the fact that he is never mentioned by name at any point during the movies.
It's true.
He's just there for that one line and like a couple background scenes. But we all know his name.
He makes more appearances in like the games and the shows, like the TV shows and things like that.
But it is so funny how many characters there are from the Star Wars movies that, like,
Right.
the only reason anyone knew their names was, well, originally it was action figures, man. Like,
Yes.
I don't know about you, you had a million action figures. The action figure always had the dude's name on it. So, like, all the different bounty hunters that you see in that one scene on the Death Star, you know all their
Right.
names because of action figures, because they looked super cool. Pesa. Oh, Pesa. What a spot here. He's seen Junior go past him.
Oh,
no. Junior's got it. Junior saves his teammates. What patience shown. Pace is too much. And now Junior is clearing them out, continues to do so, battling forward. He's silenced, but he's giving his team a chance here in a bomb plant. Swisher coming around on the flank, hits the Ripper of the shot. That was the low player. Now it's all into PRT, and PRT's just going to try and get a defuse quickly. Oh,
Really?
He's pulled off. He's pulled off. He thought a player was closer than he was. Swisher's got the feet. Swisher's got the round. Junior, he doesn't wind up with the most kills out of the round, but he absolutely saved their bacon in that. Pesa had them dead to rights. That was 2 at a minimum, if not 3. And Junior looks around, goes, wonder where they're... Oh, God. And just saves his team.
I am just a little surprised PRT doesn't stick that, right? Because there's already a smoke down, and you get another one there. Swisher would have no idea where
I don't think he would have been
right?
able to stick it either. I think Swisher would have gotten around in time.
I mean, yes, he would have gotten
so then
around,
it's just
but
a question whether he would have gotten the spam.
exactly, that's my point. So I think that I would have taken that chance if I'm PRT. Just, stick the bomb, see if he gets me, and that's it. Instead, he comes around that corner, and Swisher, the way he's firing, he's a dangerous body no matter what the situation is. Gets the job done. Team 1 seed the round, but they will force back into this one. Maluk with the op. Sees them coming forward. Look at the Bad News Bears wasting no time, and why should they when they get frags like that? Maluk and XNS go down. That's the 4v3, excuse me. PRT was trying to be cheeky on the flank, but at this point, he's got to try to work his way back in, and it's being watched. Spongy, ready and waiting. Oh, looks away. The timing in favor of PRT. He's going to get this. Another trigger discipline moment here from Team 1. He must go around him. Now he eventually has to kill him. And Junior is the one to deal the blow to PRT. Still a chance for the retake, and Maluk gets something. But, Pesa gets something, but he will go down. And Mob's the last one standing. That will be all she wrote for the round, aside from some exit frags.
He's out of there. At least he gets to save the rifle. I feel like at a certain point, right, when PRT's on the flank, he's like, all right, I want to try and make a cheeky play, but I just watched Pace.
Right.
I should probably just pull the trigger. Could have gotten the knife.
The thing is, Junior would have seen him, right? So,
yeah.
Junior's really watching for those cheeky flanks.
Keeping the team safe, man.
He really
He's the sheepdog watching the flock. Keeping them away from the wolves. Mob's leaning back, vibing, chilling out, ready to rip heads.
Can't keep him off the board for too long, can you? He's up to 14 now. Mesa coming around through the smoke, or around the edge of it, I should say. Gets B-Wills. They're trying to spray down to get that frag. Spongy in the meantime does take down Luke and Malb. Swisher, will he go down as well? Pesa's proven to be a pretty tough customer with this USP.
Yeah. I thought they saw him before the smoke balloon. I'm really surprised there wasn't more of a spam or something going on there. But as it is, something to work with for Team 1. It's not much. It's just the pistols. But something. Bad News Bears will pump the brakes. Ease up on that acceleration. Downshift. Chill out a little bit here. This is certainly the round you do not want to somehow fumble. And to be fair, PRT's got a rifle. That's fun. It's just the rifle that Mob saved through from the last, presumably. But it is still something worth hanging on to if you can. Bomb has been planted. Ooh, Swisher. Swisher's about to have a little fight. He hears the footsteps. He knows they're coming around. They're gonna clear chair. There's one. There's two. Rifle down. And three. Trifecta for Swisher. Every bullet perfectly placed.
Makes it look way too easy. That was pretty nice for Pesa. Around the edge of the smoke sees B-Wills. But at the end of the day, it is the Bad News Bears who take it, and they've pulled it back again. We're tied up 10-10. Team 1. Economy isn't that great. They'll get 4 A1Ss and the FAMAS utility, about half what they're usually used to, maybe a little over half on the Bad News Bears. Well, Shake's going to be rocking the MAC-10. Interesting decision. Could have bought up the AK, but wants to go for the SMG. Gives him a lot more mobility, of course. Junior, along with B-Wills, are just going to look to gain some space towards the A ramp. B-Wills was just spamming away. In the meantime, let's see if Malb decides to get a little eager and push out here. I think he might be setting up for a boost. Yeah, there it goes. PRT boosted on top of the box, and he's going to have a free and clear view towards mid. He will see the head of this player who won't expect it, but Shake still gets it. How does he get that when PRT had the advantage? Pesa strikes on back to get Shake, and that will trigger the Bad News Bears into the A site.
Okay, X and S silenced as well. That's huge for B-Wills. That was a big kill to take without damage. Oh, the drop into sandwich for Pesa. So bold. It goes 1-for-1, but the trades are there. His teammates are there. And it comes down to the clutch. Minute on the clock. Plenty of time for both to play it out. And Junior's got the bomb. So he can completely reframe the engagement, and he's going to do so. He's going to leave. But Mobs is read it. He's out of there. Mobs is going to come on around. Play from mid. Interesting. No information. Won't hear the audio cue coming from the apartments, but when the bomb goes down, he'll be able to react quickly towards either site. Still, Junior is going to have the ability to relocate, reposition, and play this post plant however he'd very much like. And where he'd like is the apartments. And he has chosen wisely. Mob's working his way up the catwalk. Junior can just wait until he hears this defuse tick. Mobs doesn't have a kit either, so I don't think he can afford to clear all the way into app. Certainly he's going to have an issue there. He's made the audio cue. Now Junior knows where he's at. And, oh, it's the leg! It's the leg! Junior!
Oh.
Mobs jumped at the worst possible moment. He was scoped in. He was lined up. And the hand comes in on the shoulder because Mobs knows he just had his guardian angel there. A little peace sign from Mobs as he sneaks through the round. Oh, no, Junior. A little off center.
I mean, jumping or not, you gotta hit that.
I mean, it's one of those things where as you pull the trigger, he hits jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
no,
just,
I get it.
It's just timing.
I get
timing.
it. It's tough. That's tough. All right. Junior's had a pretty good game so far, so he's gonna have some off moments. And again, like Mike's alluding to, the timing was very difficult to deal with. X and S, in the meantime, he is going to make his way into Palace. That's some good map control for Team 1 to have. Do manage to sneak away with an 11th round victory. Jake Zula sees that nade fly on through. Oh, good flashbang. That's excellent support from Team 1 because Shake could have had Pesadillo dead to rights, but Pesa, thanks to Maluk, is able to get that opening frag for his squad. Then a follow-up thanks to some smoke fade favoring him. All right, Junior trying to get the response. Can't thread the needle for the headshot. I think he did connect on him, but it was through the wall. Oh,
Ooh, this is just completely shut down. I mean, there's still a minute to play out, but Junior and Spongy, they haven't been able to get anything. And at this point, Team 1 are feeling very comfortable. They are kicking out the little footrest and taking a nap in the lazy boy. Because this round, all about tied up with a little bow. So, likely be 12-10. 30 seconds on the clock. The Bad News Bears, I suppose, could just save these. I think they might even. 25 seconds. Yeah, they're just going to save.
yeah, 2v5. 20 seconds left. I don't like their prospects, and of course, neither do they. So, yeah, gonna be a save here. Bring the AK and the op on forward into the next round. The Bad News Bears. That round is just gonna sting, and I think that's why I brought so much focus upon it, right? Because that missed shot, ugh. It would suck for Junior if that's the reason why. Of course, they don't come out with the victory here, because just a lot of those moments seem to find him, I suppose, where he's missing the shots that look easy, and the ones that are difficult, he gets some crazy flicks. But you gotta hit both of them, at least the easy ones. Anyway, timeout's gonna be called here by the Bad News Bears. They want to talk things over and decide what to do here. I mean, looking at the money for Spongy and Junior, forcing up here seems like the right call. Just go down to 0 across the board and get ready for the next one, which will bring a $2,400 loss bonus to you. And hey, might be able to pull this one off, of course. But Team 1 starting to find their rhythm on their CT side. Oh, I know this one. Oh, I know it. That's Pikachu.
I think that's Pikachu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pika Peepoo. Pika Peepo. Oh, Peepo.
Oh.
What would Peepo's moveset be? Peepo used whack.
Yeah. I think he would just build up energy. Like, he wouldn't have any attacks except for
Bide.
Bide.
He'd be like Wobbuffet. He's
Yeah.
just using counter.
He's really difficult to take down. He has no weaknesses.
I think
And
he'd be
then-
like one of those when they made the baby Pokemon where all they can do is like charm you and like lower your attack. That'd
Exactly.
be Peepo. He'd just be rocking
Exactly that.
charm every round.
But then eventually he comes out with that killer blow, killer counter.
Yeah, charm, hyper beam. I'm a fighter in my lasers. There's a vintage meme. One of the OG memes. Oh my goodness, Shake Zula could use some lasers in this round because all of his fellow lasers are. Okay, all right, there we go. Heads up first. Oh, no more. Maluk shows himself to be the IGL on top in this one, and Team 1 are starting to bring this map potentially to a close.
It's a collective effort from Team 1 as well, and there's no mobs needing to pull off all the heroics. Everyone is fragging here. XNS leading the charge at 19, Mobs and Maluk tied at 18, and then Pesa at 16. Even PRT, you know, he hasn't necessarily been the star performer, but he's got 12. His team's up 13-10. And looking at this, the Bad News Bears are on illegal buy-up. And oh, Maluk spots out Junior. Down for the count in the first 10 seconds of the round. XNS has closed the gap as well, so there's really nothing to be gained by continuing to push this A ramp, and the Bad News Bears absolutely know it.
Here come the pistols. They don't even have the bomb with them, but they're going to make a foray out the ramp. They're trying. They're trying. Well, Molly don't do anything. But the guns certainly do. Spongy did get one before being erased from this earth, and B-Wills will try for more. But they're losing comrades. It's all on the B-Wills. Now he's been spotted, and Maluk will brave the Deagle, knowing that his teammates were likely there to clean up if something had gone awry.
This is high quality replay, man. Yep, I agree, Peepo.
Right.
All right, well,
I need access to Rob's soundboard.
Yeah, I think I do too.
It's a good soundboard, man.
It really is.
Crafted a fine set of tools. Yeah, I know. I know you're not sharing.
Pace,
You're not sharing.
opening
Pace up.
frag.
Oh, he's shutting it down too, looking for map point. This time it's X&S. Gain 2. Spongy's working his way out a little bit, but that flashbang is so good. Team 1 have been on point with the coordination and the utility through this map. The flash kicks have been deadly, and that's going to net the map point. 15-10 is the scoreline. Team 1 going on an absolute tear here to close things out. And most of these rounds aren't even looking close, right? They're looking comfortable all the way through, John. They're looking in control.
Yeah, they really are. And I mean, let's see if they can close this one out here. If the Bad News Bears can do something, they're going to have a rough buy. It does feature 3 rifles at the very least, 2 Galils and the AK, but you got a MAC-10 and Swisher. Is he only on the Glock? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he has money. He's going to spend it. There's the AK, so that's a little bit better. Team 1, though, have been in control in terms of the aim duels. Here come the Bad News Bears towards the A site. I think about going for a quick hit. It's possible. B-Wills moving on up. Malbs, the only one in position right now to defend. Now he's got the support. Here comes Maluk, and he hits the headshot on Swisher, threading the needle to find the opener. And X&S is hunting for more now. He's checking out Palace. Doesn't see B-Wills come on through. That could be trouble here for Team 1. And it is. X&S is dropped. 4v4. No one really here to deny the bomb plant as Shake is going up close and personal with the MAC-10. Swing around and cap someone off, but he cannot. Malbs takes him down. Man advantage for Team 1. And the bomb's still not planted.
So tough now. They know they've got a crossfire, but they have to brave. PRT is scoped in. He actually dropped a smoke to give himself more comfort in watching this. So they actually get to line where they can start to fight in towards ticket. They're going to have to cross that off, and they won't do even that. Pesa and Malbs finish off the kill. 16-10 is the scoreline. Team 1 looking good on Mirage. After that first half comeback, I didn't know what we were going to get out of Team 1. But they move over to the CT side, and it's just a shutdown. It's an absolute shutdown. They do a brilliant job, especially in those last few rounds, of just chaining utility, setting up their plays, getting the multi-kills, getting the big plays when they needed them, but mostly putting themselves in a position where they didn't need the big plays, where they could just consistently win duels, take picks, and win the round.
Absolutely, but, you know, Mike, I got to come back to it. That missed op shot. Ever since that point, they didn't win a single round. I got it. I got to come back to it, right? Because that was a critical moment for the Bad News Bears. You win that round, and this scoreline could be 6-10 in your favor instead. But no, it's missed. And then the Bad News Bears just couldn't recover after the point. You got to feel for Junior, of course, a little bit, given that it was on a jump and things didn't really,
got the leg.
Timing-wise, didn't go as well. Yeah, he got the leg.
He got the leg, man.
You need the
kill. It happens. It happens. It happens. Clutches are hard. Clutches are tricky. That's why they're so fascinating to watch. But that does mean that Team 1 are now up 1-0 in the series. And they did win Mirage the last time these two teams met. So looking like we might get a 3-mapper here, depending on how Ancient plays out. Very much a question mark. But before we go ahead and take a break to get ready for Ancient, we got to tell you folks about this giveaway. This crazy giveaway. The iBUYPOWER Western Digital head-to-head giveaway. They built a custom PC. This thing is an absolute monster. It's a beaut. It's a beaut, the way I would describe it. Custom built, wrapped with an iBUYPOWER Mythic Masters custom setup, Peepo included, and the internals, man, the internals are filthy good. So head on over to iBUYPOWER, ibp.gg/WDBlack PC giveaway for more details about how to enter and give yourself a chance to win this monster. John, what's your favorite part of this machine?
Oh man, where do you start, right? You got the Intel i9 12900KF top of the line gaming processor, the Western Digital Black 850 NVMe SSD for the best speeds you can possibly get from a hard drive, and the RTX 3070 to give you all the FPS along with that processor. Oof, they're all pretty beautiful indeed. And speaking of beautiful, Peepo on the side for you. Shiny, beautiful.
That's peak perfection right there. Peepo perfection. We are going to take a break here, folks. When we come back, Ancient. you know that every 30 seconds, somewhere in the world, a peepo goes missing?
Oh God,
Do
why?
your part. Take care of your peepo. The peepos, they need you. And the Bad News Bears need a win. Because they're down 0-1. The threat of elimination on the line here, John.
Why you gotta do that to the peoples?
I don't know. I was trying to think about how to lead this in. That's just where it happened. That's what I settled on.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, so Mirage went the way of Team 1 again. They also took it in the previous BO3, so I guess to be expected, sort of. I mean, it certainly looked like the Bad News Bears had control at some point, right?
I mean, this is what happens when you replay a veto, right? Is it plays out as the veto did previously. We're going to
Yeah.
Ancient, and if that happens, what are we going to get? A 16-13? Oh, it was a 16-10 again on Mirage, wasn't it?
Mike, you
It
just
literally
want
happened.
stickers.
What did I just win?
You want stickers? Rigged.
I won things in the chat? Wait, that's hilarious. What do you mean stickers?
The iBUYPOWER, I think the Peepo stickers.
I get Peepo stickers?
I'm not
Yo,
sure.
I would like Peepo stickers.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, what was your question, Mike?
Yo, I'm profiting out here. I don't know. This has completely derailed me. I get Peepo stickers. I want Peepo stickers. Heck yeah. I mean, look, normally I don't enter myself in giveaways, but when Peepo stickers are on the line,
I would love
ya,
some Peepo
boy.
stickers too.
oh, that's
Man.
hilarious that I've won. We're headed on into the game here. We have been
Yes.
completely derailed. It is going to be Ancient if this plays out to expectations, because again, I think Mirage did just go 16-10,
Yes.
as it did previously. We're going to
It
have a
was-
16-13 back the other way.
It was 14.
16-10 last.
16-14 last time, no?
Was it? I
Yeah, I
thought you
think
said it
so.
was a 16-10.
No,
I
no,
could have
16-14.
sworn.
I think you're going back a few.
Yeah, I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm incorrect. I'm thinking about something else here.
But either way, Swisher is going to get the opening shot here over on XNS. Junior planting the bomb, but Maluk gets the response here on to Swish. B-Wills continues to spam away through that smoke, and Team 1 are on for the retake. They have a kit. That's on PRT's utility belt. Nade's going to fly on through. That's going to do quite a bit of damage. Spongy down to 34 HP. And here comes Team 1 trying to pop the heads. Junior denies, so does B-Wills, and Junior again. PRT, the last one standing, and no longer. B-Wills drops him, and the Bad News Bears win the pistol round.
Hold on, I need you to carry this next round. I have to communicate to the iBUYPOWER Twitch channel what my details are to get my stickers.
Oh my goodness. You have
Very
got
important.
to be kidding me. All right,
Very
all right.
important.
Let's let Mike get his Peepo stickers. Gotta admit, I'm a little jealous. I would like my Peepo stickers too, but I guess I'm gonna have to try and win them in the chat. I can't believe it. Anyway, 1-0 for the Bad News Bears. Team 1 are gonna have 2 Deagles, 2 5.7s, and the Scout as Shake Zul is just charging out, balls to the wall, doesn't even care that the smoke is down. He's gonna be hugging right next to that Swisher. Coming through Snake, is he gonna slither on through? Well, he does get one on Mobs and decides to fall off of that after he finds the opener. Maluk will have the Scout on the A site. Connects on a shot, so that's not too shabby. Forces Junior back into A main, but Pesadillo is gonna go down to Spongy. And that could isolate the rest of Team 1. Spongy, okay. PRT responds with 1. Down to only man advantage, but the damage keeps on raining in. XNS! What a shot with the Deagle! Thought he was dead to rights. But Shake goes down, and XNS doesn't want anything to do with the MAC-10. He's going to stick with that Desert Eagle, and why not when he's hitting shots like that?
Right, details taken care of. Stickers secured here, John. This is the most important part of the evening, clearly. Now I can focus on the secondary objective here, which is this cast, Junior. Ooh, a little drive-by hit there. And XNS and PRT, well, they are limping at this juncture, so things are not looking good. Noodle is standing right next to the power switch for my whole rig, so I'm a little nervous. I'm going to try and draw him away from it. There's a power strip that powers my PC, and that would be bad if he kicked it.
He's jealous that the Peepos are coming.
I think he would enjoy a Peepo. He's pretty friendly with everything. PRT is going to try and be pretty friendly with somebody's face, and he's going to get shot in the back of his head. XNS all the way on the other side of the site. There's not really a whole lot he can do, so no time to spare, but the bomb is going down. Yeah, Noodle pretty much thinks everything that he encounters is a friend, whether it wants to be his friend or not, until proven otherwise.
Unless it snaps back.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty good attitude to have as a Doge. So
Yeah.
not upset about it.
I think as any living creature, really.
I mean, it depends on how fragile you are, right? You're at risk
True.
of most things destroying your life. Maybe. Don't be so trusting on the rip. But he's durable, so he's going to be okay. He sometimes gets so excited when he sees another dog that he jumps straight up into the air while he's on the leash, right? The leash then naturally, by fully extending, pulls him back, and he just backflips and hits the pavement. And I'm always like panicked, like, oh my god, are you? And he just bounces up and is completely okay. He's he lives up to the noodle name. I'll put it that way.
He springs back.
Mm-hmm. Very quickly, instantly, no concerns. Straight down mid they go. And with the limited pistols, they got to do something to try and make this round work. And, well, they're not going to find anything. B-site's already been taken. There's the player of the day. Mobs will connect. Okay, there we go. Mobs with that hand cannon. I mean, he doesn't even just see with the deagle. He's still going to be dangerous. Bomb's down now, though, and it's planted out in the open. So this should mitigate most of the risk from this round. A re-smoke in, even just to keep mobs contained. That's the one where they're just like, you know what? We're not going to mess with mobs. We're just going to treat mobs like he is as dangerous as he could possibly be, because that's how we get through this round okay. And now he is the only one that they've kept him at bay this entire round. Is that Molly going to spread the ticket? No. Hold on. But Spongy will spread.
Yes. He will find that last one. So far, so good for the Bad News Bears. Up 3-0 on Team 1. Last time they played here, it was Junior at the top. Excuse me. It was Shake at the top at 23 and 18, and Swisher, the best ADR at 86.6. So we'll see if those two bases are the ones to top the scoreboard once more. But so far, it's Swisher leading the charge with 4 to his name. But Team 1 now have the rifles to work with, 4 A1Ss and the op. Shake going through Snake, Mobs waiting in Jaguar. He's got support as well. He's just trying to spam through the wall there to ensure that anyone who's foolish enough to come near will at least take some damage. But Shake on the other side, free and clear from that spam, at least for the time being. Spongy goes towards mid, sees a couple of players, and now he's going to back off. Excuse me, not mid, into jungle. He's looking into A main, and he throws a flashbang, and then will fall off of it and grab the bomb to join up with his teammates towards that B site. It's framing up to be a B hit.
That it is. Quite the engagement going on here. They do have 2 players in, but it's not a full commit. Mobs and X and S, 2 of the heavy hitters for the squad as we've seen so far. Need to deliver. But Swisher. Cat's going peeking back into the red room, and there it is. Maluk had hit a very snappy shot and was not up to the task. X and S, big kill. Might not be safe for the moment, but now they know there's a pincher back in, and Swisher is going to punish on that flank. Pace at least can deal with that. But Mobs has wisely withdrawn in towards the cave. They should know he's here. They know he likes to play this, right? So they got a pretty good read. 25 seconds. They are going to have to plant and just hope that Mobs doesn't have a bead on this particular spam. He will try, but these off-kilter plants are keeping him from getting that free kill.
PRT. Flashbang thrown. He's going to peek around. Bad News Bears playing it very passively here, but Spongy is going to drop Mobs. Pesa and PRT only have 100 HP combined. They might decide to save these guns, and indeed they are. They're ducking out of this fight. Spongy? Oh no! PRT decides to stick around for too long, and Shake will drop him. At least he gives Pesa enough time to retreat with the AWP, and Pesa will be able to save this forward into the next round, but the money is not looking good for Team 1. Soon though, Mike, but still, Bad News Bears, well, nice start on Ancient, especially on a T side that's difficult to get these many rounds on.
It certainly is, yeah, right. If you can build that early bevy of rounds, you give yourself such an advantage heading into the later end. Here we do have the AWP, but Team 1 obviously not going to be able to put much around it, so the question is, can Maluk get activated early with this op? Or are they going to move him in towards mid? He's looking for that elbow fight. I might give it to him. Molly's going to make it uncomfortable, and they're going to back away wisely. With utility being committed from the other side, they're like, okay, well, Team 1's trying something here. Let's just not give them the chance. There's no reason to, right? There's no reason to give them an opportunity. You've got the advantage in this round. Press it. Avoid any situation that can give the numbers back over. Malbs is deeper in the cave. This time he's playing from Jaguar, but doesn't have much to work with. It's still Deagle. That's always a threat. Xanass trying to make some noise here as they come up the B ramp. Into the site they go. Smoke on in. Isolates this fight pretty dang well, and B will eventually bring it through. Nicely played from the Bad News Bears to avoid many opportunities. Over the nade, though. The nade catches Shake Zula. Pesa back in with that op. Taken off of Maluk's body. It is now doing more damage. Oh, Swisher's going to... No, just misses Mobs. Timing could be brutal here. And the bomb's not planted to be able to be defended from cave, so Swisher will need to get out. Pesa, though, he's running out of time. He's running out of clock. He's running out of options. That's the right read, but he's turned away from it at the wrong moment. And he will be down and into the dirt. Good impact in the round, considering how little they brought in. But Bad News Bears are more than happy to just take the round up.
Yeah, at least 3 frags coming through from Team 1, like you said, just on the eco. But that op saved over did quite a bit of damage. The thing is, Pesa, he was trying to be the hero. And he went out for try and get those last 2 frags, and unfortunately that means the op is also lost. But they have enough money to invest into not only 1, but 2 AWPs, so it was perhaps worth the risk for him. Pesa, speaking of which...
Double op is interesting on this map. I don't think a lot of teams run it, right? I feel like it's a rarity. It's just really tricky to make a retake work on Ancient with it.
Yes, but in terms of defense, I can see a lot of opportunities, right? A main, down mid, sniper room in mid is pretty potent spot to be holding from, and even at the B site, there are a lot of interesting angles. So definitely, I agree with you on the retakes, it's a little tough, but on the initial defense, it can be very potent.
Yeah. I'm thinking about why we don't see more teams run it.
It's a new map.
We'll see if PRT can have some success with it on that secondary. Bad News Bears been very patient about getting in, and they have taken their early licks of utility damage, right? 3 players quite low. About half. Not substantially low, but still. Seems like this might be the round they finally threaten A. Utility going to sail over. Everyone's grouped up to come out A main. That's exactly what they're going to do. There's 2 players tucked back towards Donut, and actually, Base is going to float to be able to play a different position from his comrade. That's one of the ops as well. That's PRT, who will be coming out of the Donut, but he smoked off, so does he want to play through? He does. Going to try for a shot, going to try for a lucky blow, but they've got no vision. These smokes denying everything, and they're content to stay alive on site. This ground's been taken, but can they see it through? There, the kills start to come in. The patience paying off for Team 1, not revealing their hand early here. And they're looking for more in terms of a fight, and it's Mobs who's on the scene. Everybody has flowed through here. They know they've got some time in their favor. Only 12 seconds. Spongy has to go if he's going to go. And he's going to save. Bold, to say the least. And fortunately for him, he will die before the clock runs out.
I mean, if you're going to fall off. Fully commit to it. Don't stop. Don't do the NA save. Well, Bad News Bears do lose their first round here. I'd say that the T side's going better for them here against Team 1 than it did against Extra Salt, right? Because we saw against Extra Salt, they really couldn't get their rhythm after finding a few openers. It was just Extra Salt all the way taking control to win that one 16-13. Peepo, help us out. We're stuck again.
Peepo! Stop messing around in the replay room.
But yeah, no. As I was saying, oh, there's the Peepo. He's like, I fixed it. Oh, you're good. But Bad News Bears, pretty good B side, all things considered. Let's see if they can continue to do that. And they walk onto the B side uncontested. XNS does manage to get one going for the wall bang, looking to connect for another, but it doesn't happen. 4v4 bomb going to get planted. Pesa flirting with pushing through this smoke, Mike.
Junior. Shake Zula knows he's got 2. Just spamming it on down, getting some bullets in the gun to try and catch them on the chase, and he'll get a chance for the reload. That's all he wanted. XNS pushed back, and at this point, XNS, what is he going to try and do? Just hang on in Jaguar, or can he slip away? He can slip away, but the round's been conceded. Team 1 give up a 6th round here, John.
Jeez.
I mean, they finally got on the board, right? And then it immediately gets isolated. So now the economy is in a shambles. And this is a catastrophe for an Ancient CT side.
It really is. I mean, they can still find their rhythm, right? But you're looking at the prospect of winning 8 in a row to give yourself kind of a more typical scoreline on your CT side of Ancient. Bad News Bears, again, have an opportunity to really run away with this one. Let's hope that, as opposed to Mirage, they capitalize on it this time. Double ops coming through again for Team 1. 3 A1Ss to round out the buy. Bad News Bears, 4 AKs, and the Soul Off. Luke charging down towards mid. Wants to have a peek. Good flashbang thrown. Swisher was blinded briefly, and he does go down. Junior gonna face, and he gets the immediate trade. Op the op goes to Junior. 4v4. Nice nade tossed on forward to a very common spot. XNS goes down to 52 HP, but he continues to hold. That said, Shake spots out mobs coming from cave. XNS attention diverted, and he will have to fall off. He doesn't have the reinforcements right now to face off against 2 players. Now they're here. Both ops. But I think the hit's going to go towards A. That's a really good call from the Bad News Bears.
That it is. Still, PRT has a chance to shut this all down, right? They're all coming from the same sight line. He's got the A1S. This thing can be a laser beam as they round the corner. 55 seconds. Trying to call for the rotation. That's not going to be available, and they went for a boost up to try and circumvent his angle. PRT is going to find the first. He's tagged down. He's lost his teammate, but he's still somehow holding strong. PRT, a bastion on the site, and they bailed. They don't want it. They don't want that heat. They don't want that sauce. They're bailing on out. Instead, they've still got this player in the cave. That's going to be Shake Zula, who scoped in. And as XNS comes to clear, Shake Zula will claim that life. Now he knows he's got this site cleared. He's content to push on out. He was so patient in not overplaying his hand, and that's going to secure the bomb plant with 15 seconds to go, and PRT is just going to have to save. Really nicely done from the Bad News Bears. Huge round from Shake Zula.
This G side just keeps getting better and better, Mike. 7-1 now. PRT forced on the save. I mean, you do have the full loss bonus, but on CT side, it doesn't really yield the results when your economy is this low. Everyone below $500, meaning that yes, they can go for a half buy into the next round, but that'll probably be the most they'll want to invest into. Alrighty, Bad News Bears. Nice little bounce back after having a pretty heartbreaking loss on Mirage, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Terrorists win. I mean, yeah. I'd say it was heartbreaking. I mean, still, though, that final few rounds, you know, it got away from them. Team 1 really put up a run and absolutely deserved it. It's not one of those where you go, you know, it comes down to one mistake. No.
Well,
John, I know, but
well,
there was more than just that. There were many more rounds where Team 1 were just in complete control. This one, though, it's Bad News Bears all day, every day. I mean, Team 1 are just getting washed straight out. PRT. The one rifle of the round. Can he be the hero that they need? I'll try and press in from window. The player already in Jaguar, though, so already kind of gotten past the angle they need to, and he'll hear a ton of footsteps. Shake Zula calming this. They've rotated back up mid. He correctly read those footsteps. Read the team leaves here. Should be able to calm a lot of information through to his team. PRT does some damage. XNS is there for more. Bomb's not committed yet. They don't have to go into this fight, but if they abandon, that gives up a bunch of guns. That gives up quite the arsenal. Shake Zula working to retrieve that. Currently doing his best to absolutely destroy his bed. He's dragging it around like he would the neck of an animal he had killed. It's quite absurd. And he is also attempting to do it right next to my PC, the goofball. But this round has slowed down for a moment, allowing a little bit of noodle conversation. And you're going to have to give me just one moment here, John.
Okay, yeah, I thought he loved his bed. I was going to say, but I guess not. I will give you a moment. Mesa
He also
gets
loves
the headshot on Spongy. What's that?
He loves it. He also loves destroying it.
Ah, well, it's a love-hate relationship, I guess. Sort of. All right, we'll get back into the action here. I think Mike has a little bit to deal with good old Noodle. Bomb going to be planted here. Bad News Bears looking to go on to 8, despite the fact that Team 1 have the mana. Swisher around the corner makes it even Steven at a 2v2, and Team 1 are not in a position to get the trade. Swisher thinking about re-peeking it. Did he get the information? Did he spot Maul at the very end? He didn't, but he still gets the headshot on him after he re-peeks it, leaving only Pesa, and it's Swisher with the 3-piece 8-1 for the Bad News Bears on their T side of Ancient.
Oh, I mean, this is a phenomenal scoreline. And I am content to say Noodle has stopped absolutely destroying his bed. You see, there's a stuffed collar around it, and he has made it his mission in life to rip all of the stuffing out of said collar.
Oh.
And he's back to it. All right, you know, it's just going to happen. It's just going to happen. Timeout's going to get called in from Team 1 here. This is why we can't have nice things, because they need to radically shift what they're doing. All right, they need to find some sort of a solution to the Bad News Bears, and they've tried a few things. They've tried some aggression in towards mid to try and take that elbow fight. It hasn't been given to them. They've tried to establish cave control. They've been able to do so, but then they lose the site. They've tried to make some cheeky plays towards A. Those have been largely successful, but then they haven't been able to zero in the retake. This is tough, man. So what's the next step? Aggression down the B ramp? Aggression out A main? There are a few more toolkits you can use here, but it really is a situation where the Bad News Bears are identifying the weakness, exploiting it, taking some early advantages, and then sitting on them for as long as possible until they... What? A hiding... Did you just see where Swisher hit those nades?
No, I didn't.
He tossed them into the pile of bricks in the corner outside of B main to be retrieved. Right in here, so you wouldn't see them if you were coming back as a CT.
That's so smart.
That's a brilliant spot for high utility. 1-for-1 exchange. Maluk forced back, and they've got B once more. The bomb's not planted yet, but it's only a matter of time now. 1-for-1 exchange is still working out for the Bad News Bears. They'll take this all day, every day. The one moment of vulnerability, though, is when they have to devote one of their remaining sets of hands to planting this bomb. And that is where they get punished. PRT, Maluk, Pesadelo, they've got an advantage in this retake. They're going to try and bring it through. But the time is ticking away. The clock is ticking away. That's the ever-present threat. Junior, a huge miss, and Maluk will punish him for it. All onto Spongy now. 3 to find, and they will array themselves against him. Aria player stuck on in, and PRT keeps him safe. There's the round. Team 1 have finally got their second on the board.
I mean, they had to do absolutely everything right just to get that defusal. Nicely done for Team 1 at the very least to get that second, onto the board. Man, oh man, the Bad News Bears are proven to be a tough customer on their T side of Ancient. In particular, towards that B site, they continue to abuse it round after round. And you see Team 1 making the adjustments, but even still, the Bears are still hitting their shots. They continue to come out aggressive. They really aren't hesitating at all. And there it is, Swisher again. Maluk goes down, and mid is blown open. PRT trying to recover there and gain the space. Pace is there, but it's PRT to go down through the wall. Now Mobs will respond as well to make it a 3v3. So Team 1 at the very least finding the trades. Bad News Bears, they're just so hard to shut down this time.
Yeah.
Junior finds Mobs.
Every time T1 feel like they've gained an advantage or a fight or a pick, it just comes back the other way instantly. They cannot hold on to any of these leads, any of these advantages. Axenes and Pesa. This is such a prime opportunity. They have to be tempted to go in, and Axenes with that kill, that will coax them through. That will absolutely coax them through, but does he expect another in the position? No, he's going to face towards Junior, and Junior will hit. 13-4 is Junior. The Opper is incredible right now on Ancient. And this is the T side of Ancient. A side that some teams don't even touch the scoped rifle on. Not wanting to deal with it on a map that can be so difficult and rely on quick movement. But he's just so good. 101 ADR. 10 rounds. 11 rounds, sorry. 13 kills. Monstrous.
I'd say it's underused in a map where I do feel, like I mentioned, there are a lot of long-range engagements that you can use here to take the offense. Anyways, they're just going to walk out here and farm away. There are 2. He does die in the Molotov, though. But He makes it a 4v3. Don't want to lose that AK, but I think they're just going to abandon it. So they're giving it up to Team 1. They have a couple of players with body armor that'll be able to use it, and Pace is going to be the one to pick it up. That said, because they were going for that aggression down mid, it leaves both bomb sites kind of exposed, in particular the A site, and the Bad News Bears, still being cautious, will clear out every angle. They should be able to get this bomb planted pretty much uncontested. Maybe Maluk will be able to come in here and do some damage. But as it stands, there you go. Eagles want to plant that. Maluk's damage with the smoke, but he's not going to get anything. Pesa does, but is immediately traded, so no longer a threat. Maybe mobs! Nope.
Nope.
Not him either.
Not happened there. Luke. Looking for a miracle. Miracle's not at hand. His prayers not answered. 10 rounds! T-side of Ancient. Domination station for the Bad News Bears, as once again they prevent Team 1 from building any defensive momentum here. At least the reinvestment can come through here, John. There's something for Team 1, but whoa, this is a brutality.
I think the last time I saw an Ancient T-side go this well was back when it was first introduced, and Pain Gaming, it was just their map, right?
Yeah.
And they were this good on the T-side. Even I don't know. It's just really surprising to see.
Okay,
XNS gonna get shake there from Jaguar. That's a good start here for Team 1 at the very least.
Look at the adjustment. They've got 2 players pushing Jaguar. There was aggression down mid, but they're giving it up. They're giving it up. And as a result, now here's going to come to take, but Maluk is not smoked off. The one angle that's not covered. He is punishing. The smoke is deep, and Maluk this time is standing strong. Here they go. They might regret the placement of the utility in this one. Gonna try for the plant. What? Okay, Spongy did not realize Maluk was right there. Was very focused on the right side of that, and that's going to be a relatively clean round for Team 1. So if they could run back 5 here at the end of the half, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, good adjustment made by sending 2 over to Jaguar, but what happened here? I mean, look,
I think Spongy literally, like from his perspective, did not see him. Thought he had fallen back.
Not only that, they got 3... He got 3 frags, like, from the same exact position. So they should have isolated at the very least before Spongy was even exposed to that extent. It
was a bit of an oversight from the Bad News Bears. They threw a really deep smoke, and then didn't have any other utility to deal with Maluk. So, Bad News Bears time out there, as they're going to try and process what just went wrong with that one. Yeah. And also, I think, figure out their economy. Just going to let that one hang in the air. Gonna let that one happen. 2 more rounds and a half. I mean, whichever way this breaks for Team 1, it's not exactly looking good, but 2 more rounds would be a lifesaver, potentially. So much more of a possibility. Oh! Good kill from all. Swisher. Looking to find more. He's done it with a Glock. He's done it with a Glock of all things. Swisher 2 kills to his name. Chasing this on through. XNS is going to try and pull a hero play here. Dancing among the smokes. Trying to make something happen. Pesadelo. Dancing around, but it's all on to Spongy now. Oh, and his back is turned. PRT had the flank exposed. There we go. Round 4 for Team 1. It has taken a very long time for them to get their feet under them. This round, it takes a boost. Several smoke plays. Crazy flanks coming through. But finally, they find round number 4, and they might just be able to give themselves some sort of cushion to attempt this second half.
Yeah, and the Bad News Bears, well, they've run out of money in the tank. They're forcing up whatever they can get. That's only going to be 2 Deagles, 2 Tech 9s, and Swisher's just going to try and push up, but man, Bad News Bears have done that one too many times, and this time Team 1 are ready to completely shut it out with utility and the guns. That quickly leaves the Bad News Bears down to only 3 players charging into this A site. And you see Team 1 backpedaling now. Trying to isolate the fights, and they absolutely do. Maluk finds Junior. PRT waiting around the edge of this smoke, and Maluk's going to get B-Wills. PRT does go down, but it's only Spongy. 4 rifles against 1 Deagle, but the 1 Deagle doing the damage until Pesa settles things down. Team 1 do indeed get 5.
They do. They do. Okay, so there's something. There's a cushion here to work with. There's something to build with in the second half. Still brutal. If this plays out to our expectations of Ancient, this is probably going to be a pretty quick one. And we'll be thinking about the decider. Still, the bad news bears. I mean, we have to see how that defense works, but my goodness, were they being decisive? Were they being controlling? Their takes in towards B in particular just had Team 1 on the back foot the entire time.
Maybe Team 1 can replicate what the Bad News Bears did on their T side now. 5 rounds to recover in order to tie this one up. And it would all start with a nice little pistol round victory. They're stacked up with B-Wills, and they both go down. Not a trade in sight. 5v3, and Team 1 just going to blitz now onto this B site and try to take it through force. And that they will. In fact, the Bad News Bears just fall off of it completely through the smoke, though. Spongy cannot survive. Maluk spots his head and takes him down. I shouldn't say spots it. He just gets the connection through the smoke because he couldn't see a thing. Shake and Junior, the last two standing. And Shake just going to have a peek. At the end of the day, they're going to have to hit some nutty shots in order to overload 5 players standing in the post blank.
Maluk is going to help finish that one off. So it's over. That's the pistol round taken from Team 1. Here's how you start the comeback. Would be wild if we saw it come back the other way.
Yeah.
But here we go. I mean, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Bad News Bears not going to invest into this round. Well, I said that too soon. Okay, they are going to invest into this round. Not sure how I feel about that one. But we'll see if the Deegs can net results here. The one who get a strong first round bye, they do. Junior saving that extra money to get towards the AWP right off the rip. We have heavy presence in the cave and Jaguar. Busher looks like he wants to get aggressive with this as well, perhaps. Just tucked up in there towards Jaguar. As that smoke fades, we might see a 4-way through. Still got this control, still got the spacing. Player coming back from spawn. XNS posted up for it. Now they'll start to clear on it. Take this space to claim it. There's one. The second as well for XNS, and he's cleared out this spot, and with it, he should have secured a very powerful position to play the post plant for his team. And you can see the response for the Bad News Bears. They don't even want this. They're out. They don't want that heat. They don't want that action. You have to hold on to Cave to make this kind of a retake with this kind of weaponry work.
Yeah, and I mean, rather than just throw it away, save it for the next round. Give yourselves at least the Deagles to fight with, because it's going to be an all-out save with $0 in the bank counts for Spongy, Shake, and Swisher. Good on Team 1. They've quickly cut this lead down to only 3 rounds, and they keep 4 players alive with 3 Galils and an AK amongst them. That is going to help out a lot. I imagine PRT is going to drop, or that one player that went down. I don't know. XNS is going to settle for a MAC-10. Fair enough. Not a bad weapon to move forward with. They're going to try to farm the money. As mentioned, nothing going to be invested into this round. Well, I take that back. Swisher does buy a Deagle, and B-Wills the 5.7. So get the pistols in their hands. They're going to try charging down mid. They do. 2 players get the donut. Swisher perhaps spotted out, but Shake gets the opening frag.
All right. Okay. Shake Zula. Deagles making some noise here. They have taken B, though. This bomb's making its way over to be planted. Should be able to plant safe in this exact smoke, which could actually lend itself to Spongy. Okay. The trade is there, but the damage is starting to go substantial. Still a few Deags out. Yes, they don't have a lot of health. They are going to give this an attempt, since they'll be buying in the next regardless. Here comes the play. Mobs timing that flashbang for his teammates to play off of. He will succeed. At least for the moment. It seems like this is where the reign of terror and damage comes to an end, but Sheikh Zula, he's found a Galil. And now he's tapped. He has to bring Mobs up. Mobs needs to check this, but Mobs is good for it. Oh my goodness, that got way too close for comfort. Sheikh Zula wouldn't have been able to win it on the time alone, but he could have done even more damage. And that's an expensive round for Team 1 to deal with.
Yeah, it certainly is, and good job on the Bad News Bears to grab that Galil off the ground and get it into the hands of the full HP player, that is Shake, so it lets him do that damage. And bring it down to only 1 for Team 1. That said, they do cut the lead to 2. The Bad News Bears are going to come out with their first full-on rifle buy. It'll be short 1 A1S, since Swisher only had enough from us, but it's 3 of those A1Ss and the AWP for Junior, who's been very good with it on his T sides. Let's see what the CT side yields. Malbs, along with X and S, waiting in jungle for their opportunity to push through connector into mid. In the meantime, though, Team 1, that's PRT, going into A main and waiting for some pushes to come through from the Bad News Bears. Not a bad spot to hold, because CTs do often get a little antsy into these positions. There's some utility being thrown. A smoke to guys off what would be an entrance for Team 1 onto A.
We'll be below a minute by the time the smoke fades. What other utility is there here on A? Oh, what do we have? We got Spongy. We got Shake Zula. There's actually a lot. The problem is they're positioned to anticipate maybe some play from Donut. Here comes the peek. Here comes the swing. Shake blinded up. He is boosted. And now the Donut presence starting to come around. But Shake Zula, he's isolated this kill. He's got it. Dead to rights. Oh, the peek from Spongy. Looked like it was on, but Maluk managed to get the shot out. And now Shake Zula's in for a world of hurt. That smoke just gives him time to reposition to get into the corner, but they heard him, and he doesn't care. Actually, it's Junior to take the kill, save his bacon. But this is working out right now for the Bad News Bears. They've got the advantage set up, and that bomb still hasn't gone down and will need to cross into the line of fire. Swisher on the flank out from the Donut is going to help them shut this down, and shut it down they will. The Bad News Bears find their first round of the half, and now they started up the fire.
That's a good read on the positioning of Team 1 by the Bad News Bears. In particular, Swisher coming around from Donut on the flank to really put the finishing blow onto that defense at the A site. And Team 1, well, they cannot stop the Bad News Bears once they got those rifles in their hands. Swisher upgrades to the AK, and everything looking rosy for the Bad News Bears now, especially considering that Team 1 had a lot of expensive rounds to open things up, right? In particular, that round, we think back to it, Shake Zula managing to get 2 frags before going down. So.
Oh. People me music. God. Time spent in the me world. We had some fantastic creations on that Nintendo Wii back in the day.
Oh man, that music is so nostalgic, man.
I remember making like our high school teachers making versions of them in Mii's.
Really?
Yeah. There were a couple who had like very distinctive faces, and I'm not saying whether it was positive or negative. It was negative, but they got recreated because they were so easy to caricature. You know, kids can be cruel. We didn't tell them, fortunately.
What's worse though, Mike?
Doing it and not telling them, or telling them?
Exactly.
Definitely doing. I mean, definitely telling them. That would just be bullying. Kids got to figure out a way to express their frustration with authority figures, you know? And if making a me of them is the worst that they do, that's pretty harmless.
Fair enough. What's not harmless, though, is this AK in the hands of Swisher. He's sitting at 17 frags at the top of the scoreboard for the Bad News Bears. And push down this B ramp. He could shut down any attempt to get to B by his lonesome, especially with B will supporting. B will slow down, but I don't think they know he's here. Oh my goodness, what a peek from XNS. He read that one by the book. 4v3 in favor of Team 1. Pesa gonna get this bomb planted as well, but Shake does manage to get the trade on through. Maluk drops, Spongy swings around, gets one, could get the second, it's there. Only PRT left, and the Bad News Bears could be on for a 12th here, unless PRT has some heroics.
Time for some PRT heroics. Probably not. But he's gonna wait to play off the defuse. Now they know where he is. Molly could come in to force him off of this. And indeed, it's going to. It doesn't really cover it off, but it does bait him into the peak, and Spongy will be there. Defuse on 12th round found. Lead built back to 4. Big round for Spongy. 3 kills. Spongy be spongin'.
I'm surprised XNS had that read. Wow, just a good clear.
I mean, he's been on one, right? I'm not actually sure what his scoreline stacks up to on this map, but considering the performance on Mirage as well, he has been feeling it today. What did you say?
15.
15-13? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in a losing affair, you'll absolutely take that. Shake Zula! Gonna shut down too early here. Problem here, Swisher dipping over the window, collects more. No one's doing anything in this round. Pesa, though, might rewrite that script. Rifle found. He doesn't have control of the bomb, though, and Swisher's not going to give him any room to rumble. Third kill of the round for Swisher, who is also having quite the game. And that'll be Bad News Bears inching ever closer to sending us through to the decider, for taking us to Nuke.
That will be interesting. As Shake, speaking of Nuke, it's usually his favorite map to frag out on, but it seems like Ancient might be the new place to keep an eye on him for, because, of course, as mentioned, he was the top frag last time, and this time he's close as well, sitting behind Swisher, who's at 20, at 17 frags, and getting quite a few clutch performances to help his team build this lead. It's getting sizable. Team 1 call a timeout, talk things over. They're saying, okay, AKs across the board, let's get that mobility in play. Not that they really had the choice, because they couldn't buy the op-up anyway, but still. They are trying to get another round under their belts. And this is more of the typical T side, I would say. And you'll see a lot of struggles, to get into the bomb sites, and the CTs have the advantages. I mean, look, I cannot understate how good that T side was for the Bad News Bears.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty monstrous. I mean, even just letting 3 rounds go at the end, it could have been even more dominant.
Yep.
Nice nade. Holy cow, what a dunk! Woo! What a dunk! I mean, that just landed on the back of Pesadelo's neck. My goodness. What madness here. Okay, so now they are heavily wounded up. 4 players limping, and they've barely seen anyone. I don't think they have seen anyone. Just the HEs have given them an absolute bruising. They have been tenderized. Now they might just be headed in to the meat grinder. The B site has 3 players here to defend. They're ready for this. Still a minute on the clock. Team 1 could theoretically bail out since they do have a lurk watching the approach outside A, but I think they're going to commit. I think they're going to come in. And on go the moves.
I mean, a little hesitant to come in. Eventually, you have to think that they're going to commit to this. Finally, it looks like they are going to make that move with 30 seconds remaining in the round. I don't know what it's going to yield. It is Swisher getting the opener. A trade found by Malbs to get Swisher. HP still low for Team 1, but at least they're going to be able to get this bomb planted or have a chance at it. Boost comes through. B-Wills can't see anything over it, and the bomb plant is indeed there. Will that be all they get? B-Wills is going to drop X and S.
Love that boost for B-Wills. Just playing it patient as well, waiting for the player to go into the cubby, knowing that that's a very strong post-plant position, that they're going to try and get it as soon as that bomb goes down. It's a pretty common protocol for a player to make the move there once they've planted. And that's what he punishes. Ollie's in to start to section off these players. Malbs has played this position before. Do they read it here? No! But Shake Zula's quick on the trade. Still, there's more bodies there. Somehow they're corralling this, but it's going to come down to a clutch for Spongy. How well does PRT know this lineup?
No time.
Gonna try for it. It's gonna fade, but Spongy's got it. He doesn't have the clock. He's going to die. Everybody dies. No survivors of the round. And Team 1 win that off the clock.
Oh, man. Nice effort on the retake by the Bad News Bears. It is kind of bad news. Did not intend to make that pun. But for Team 1, because they don't have much money to work with, right?
You're the Bad News Bears.
That's true.
Bank's going to be depleted. Shake Zula's limited here. And that CT side, if they lose this, they're brittle. This is, I would say, this is far worse for the defense. You could really see them give up a bevy of rounds off of it if they don't convert here. This is a critical swing now, folks. Critical swing coming in. 3 players going to start to make their way up B main. And in they go. Swisher trying to hold the line. Dancing around the pillar, but ooh, he can't survive. He can't back away. He got caught by the flashbang, and that is well thrown from Pesadelo. Bomb's going to be down. Now they've got the site with a man advantage. And again, talking about the economics here, at a certain point, the Bad News Bears, you got to consider the save, and that's the point. B-Bulls goes down. He had 2 directions to watch, and he knew he was hemmed in. Wrong way, wrong time. Bad News Bears will concede round number 10 over to Team 1. And that's going to be a major blow to their chances to close out this game.
Well, Junior at least gets a parting gift. Put that frag on Maluk. PRT's around the corner. He's just spotted out, so he's going to back off a little bit. They don't really want to lose any more guns, because again, both economies kind of fragile. And well, it will be Team 1 at the very least to get into double digits now, making it 13-10. Again, trying to creep closer and closer to a tie game. The Bad News Bears with the 2 rifles saved over, well, unfortunately, it'll be all they have in this round. As Shake buys up a Deagle, Swisher and B-Wills are on the full-on save. Let's see if that op for Junior and the A1S for Spongy are enough. Are they going to split them up or keep them together? It looks like the answer is split them up. Junior playing over at the B site and Spongy at A.
Junior posted. Apologies if a squeaky toy is coming through. Junior posted, waiting for someone to come around, but it's not happening just yet. Team 1 very timid in this round, knowing that if they make an error, they might just invite the devil back in, and the devil in this instance being the Bad News Bears. So it's going to come down to 2 guns to really try and make inroads here. We got Spongy at the back of A. They're playing the traditional spots, and we've got Junior getting a little bit more bold in the cave. Here comes Swisher, poking on out with the USP. He's going to find the space. He's going to find the info. How do they react to this? He comes out the window. Okay, that is being watched, and he's been put on notice as well. Nade going to come over. Dunker of a nade. But Junior, off of this, has gotten some positioning. It's difficult. He's ahead of it. Doesn't realize how many are there. And this is a massacre now. Team 1 peppering so much damage around, but they are going to test the one site the rifle remains on. The one site where something could go wrong, but okay, they passed the test with flying colors. No problems here. Team 1 make it through. 3 alive, bomb down, round 11 on the board.
Mal's just dropping bodies, taking names. Great work from him with a 3-piece on that round to give Team 1 an 11th round. And now the Bad News Bears, I mean, technically that was an eco for them, so they can reinvest into this round. They already have Junior with the op. It is a glass cannon, though. Bear that in mind. And B-Wills with the A1S. Both, I shouldn't say both, all the rest of the players, Swisher, Shake, and Spongy, will be able to get the A1S up and running. I think with full utility pretty much, so...
Should be good. Should be good. This round's critical though. There's gonna be a FAMAS for a Swisher to allow that full utility to come through. We might see further limitations here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, to be honest, I think he went for that because Junior doesn't have any at all.
Goes. Team 1 looking to claw this back. This would be another huge swing round. The Bad News Bears are running out of opportunities to really mount the defense here. It's crazy how similarly this is playing out to the first half in terms of the T side being dominant, being strong. It's not what we expect for Ancient, but between these two teams, it seems to be the new norm.
Well,
any given game, man.
I think the Bad News Bears got off to a hotter start on their T side, of course.
Yeah, true.
Team 1 that are picking up, and words are coming out of my mouth. There we go. They're picking up the pace here in the latter part of it instead. Sheikh Zula, the Mike Rula. Oh, he's got mobs dead to rights. Mobs had no idea he'd snuck up to that point. XNS does get the immediate traits. That's a good response. Doubles back a little bit and then finds the follow-up on Swish. 4v3. That's the advantage. And Team 1 trying to put the squeeze on the Bad News Bears.
The real question is, do they realize how open this B site is now? Do they realize how much space they've gained? They don't seem to. XNS will eventually start to probe, but this could actually be problematic because Team 1's already kind of committed to this A take. They've sent one player out at least. PRT is certainly committed, but as XNS finds more and more and more space, he might be communicating to his team, hey, rotate back around. Problem is there's only 25 seconds, so he can't do that anymore. And now he's dead. So that space is certainly not gained. They are going to head on in towards A. This is the best site.
Whoa.
And Junior, that's almost a collat. It legs Maluk as well. They are going to be damaged. One player into the tombs. He has cleared around the corner. Oh, tight in. Junior knows he's got a man in, but he's got to get the shot. Not going to risk an arm shot this time around. That's going to be the bad news bears enforcing their will at just the right moment. Not only that, they save 3 alive as well. To find round 14. This is a round they had to get. It's a round they had to get with some bodies up as well, and they do exactly that.
That was a 3v4 for the Bad News Bears, and like you said, they don't lose a single body after that point. Impressively done, especially with XNS doing this type of work. Oh, goodness. Well, he did get caught out at the end by B-Wills, but still. Team 1 will not take a 12th. And that means the Bad News Bears now only 2 away from securing this map and sending us on over to Nuke, which Team 1 has had their struggles on, especially against teams of the caliber of the Bad News Bears. Let's see if the Bad News Bears can clear this one up. Right now, Junior is going to get Maluk. The boost doesn't matter at all. XNS could get the response, and he does. 4v4.
Critical. They needed it. Oh, B-Will's looking for more. He's got it. He holds down Mouse 1. And XNS trying to follow up the kill, trying to trade it back while he gives up his own life. Now it's catastrophe for Team 1. This would be map point coming up on the board if they concede it. And Pesa and PRT are all that remains. Pesa and PRT. But PRT does have a cheeky bit of positioning. He's found his way into the red room. He's taking his path through mid. Got a lot of space now. Coming into the back lines. That's going to be PRT connecting on 1. Does he realize how close the CT player is? We'll drop a smoke just in case. That's a wise decision. Bungie posted up waiting for it. Junior trying to come back to clear this, and they are going to clear it out. I think bodies devoted 2, but now it's 2 for Team 1. No! Pesadelo can't get around the corner. They just need to survive. They just need to survive, but they can do no such thing. Spongy there for the last. It comes down to the wire, comes down to the absolute last kill, but it is map point found for the Bad News Bears, and the bank is depleted for Team 1.
Oh my goodness. Interesting attempt there at the clutch for PRT right at the very end, but he is cut short. He was Spongy. Either way, like you said, map point for the Bad News Bears. They want some nuke. They want to push this one last map. Yeah, depleted is an understatement for the economy of Team 1. They got 2 MAC-10s, 3 Deagles, and a little bit of utility. Oh my goodness, the jumping MAC-10 to the rescue for Pesadillo. Spongy goes down, and the Bad News Bears don't have anyone else on this A site, so Team 1, they are not out of this one just yet.
No, they're not. They're fighting. They're battling their way on through. And this is going to be safe for the Bad News Bears. They don't want this. They don't want this heat. They're backing off. They're giving it up. They're giving Team 1 a rope back in. I mean, to be fair, if Bad News Bears went for that retake, they have nothing going into the next. So this is a conservative call, but it's a call that makes sense. Junior's got to be careful for the hunt. And Team 1 recognizes the situation as well. Any gun they can prize from their opponent's hands would be huge, would be massive. It's not going to happen. Team 1 find 12, but the Bad News Bears at least preserve 4 sets of weapons. 1 kill goes in and the round falls apart for the Bad News Bears.
That's unbelievable. Just the jumping MAC-10 is all that Team 1 needed to get themselves a 12th on the board, and now... Well, I mean, yeah, the 4-man save certainly helps the cause, but it still wasn't exactly the greatest of buy-ups in the first place. At least they have it from us now, added to the mix by Spongy. Team 1, without a doubt, the much better buy-up going into this round. Well, we're going to go for that boost once more. Maluk this time throwing a flashbang over. Junior has the AWP, but he's not going to challenge as much, at least not from the same angle. There's that nade. Eagles was thinking about throwing it. Could have done some damage, but instead opts for the flashbang and toss that over so Junior can peek out. He does peek, but a flash in turn. Force Junior back a little bit. B-Wills gets the opener with the MP9. Junior legs Mobs down to 18. They have a nade. Doesn't connect onto Mobs. And Pesa will be pushing up towards Killer. He finds B-Wills, and Mobs takes down Junior. 4v3. The Bad News Bears losing the bodies, but they do get one back. Squisher. Oh, this bomb's gonna be blended out. Oh, the Molotov.
The Molotov finds it. That's huge. Slows down the bomb plant as well, but clearing out the cave. This one goes back and forth.
Oh my goodness.
Spongy and Shake Zula still present. That bomb's now gone down. Now, at the very least for Team 1, they have the clock to play off of, and a double peek eliminates Spongy. Shake Zula with it all to do. He's a man alone. He's a man alone, but he's found the first. Knows where the second is. Shake Zula! Not good for the kill. Maluk just brings it through. Saves the AWP as well. And Team 1 are so close
Oh my goodness.
to bringing this into overtime. 2 rounds, all that's required.
Oh my goodness. That was the craziest round I think we've had so far in this series. Back and forth, madness. Down to a clutch situation for Shake, and honestly, that could have easily gone either way.
Zeus is out for Shake Zula.
Man, but look at this. They don't have anything in the round.
No. So here's the thing, though. I love the decision to go for the Zeus in this situation, because what you're saying is, we need something to rally us. And if I get a Zeus kill right now, it's going to put a smile back on someone's face, and we can try and compete for that last round.
I suppose, if you want
Problem
to look at
is,
it that way.
he's on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah.
Psychological warfare here. Bolster the troops, rally them. Shake Zula. Just trying to get them going again.
I mean,
Oh. This is probably not going to happen, though. The retake Zeus, not effective.
yeah. XNS almost went down from that push down ramp, but it's going to be over. Shake, as you mentioned, on the other side of the map, not within striking distance with that Zeus this time. And, well, didn't really have much to save, and, well, he won't even get a chance to fire off the USP in the round. PRT spots him out looking the wrong way, and Team 1 on to 14. We are going to the very limit of regulation here. Team 1 trying to tie it up and push this one to overtime, and the Bad News Bears one last chance to end this one in regulation.
The Bad News Bears had 10 rounds on their T side.
Yeah.
It was 10-2 at one point before Team 1 managed this insane run back. 10-2. 3 rounds to end the half. And then we get to this point. One round, all that separates these teams from overtime.
They've only had 5 rounds since that point versus 12 for Team 1.
Insane.
Oh, man, definitely. And looking at Team 1, well, they have enough money to buy whatever they want versus the Bad News Bears, who do have to settle from us. At least Junior is back on the op and pretty much full utility. It all comes down to this in regulation. Shake Zula smoked off in Red Room. He's going to spam on through with the A1S as he should, since it's a very effective spam weapon through that smoke. Team 1 have done this pretty much the last 4 rounds, sending Maluk onto the boost spot. He tosses a flashbang and they peek on forward. This time the Bad News Bears don't really have much presence onto that B site. That's a great nade throw. And B-Will's taking down to 42 HP, and he's going to have to hide himself back in that cave. Doesn't want to be overexposed to that potential spam.
All quiet to this point. Both sides recognizing what that first pick could mean. Small con in to indicate perhaps a B take, and it's drawing the 4th rotator. Team 1 have abused the B site so many rounds that all they have to do is throw one piece of utility and the Bad News Bears respond, and they can't afford not to, right? These takes have been brutal. But this is going to come up mid. Is it a donut play, or is this a fake on a fake? No, it is in fact a clearance towards donut. Okay. Still smart, still clever, it's still tricksy. But it's not quite as bold as I thought it was. Flashbang there for Spongy. Trying to keep himself alive here. Has some support coming in from Shake, and they're starting to bring the 3rd rotator, but with smokes up on the site, there's not much that could be done. Still, the lineup is there. 1 found, 2 found, 3. But 2 go back the other way. Still an advantage for the Bad News Bears. And that bomb's not yet planted, and as they try and do so, they're running out of clock. PRT alone, 10 seconds. He's out of opportunities. This isn't going to happen. The Bad News Bears let them right up to the gate, but then they shut the gate in their face. We're getting a 3rd map here. We're getting one more. We're getting Nuke, John.
Wow, Bad News Bears could not have cut it closer, right? It's just, yeah, exactly that. Unreal. able to finally shut down Team 1 on their T side, so they get one more round on theirs. That's 10 on their T side versus the 9 for Team 1. Ay, ay, ay. What a match on Ancient, though, Mike.
Defied all expectations. I don't know how I expected that to go, but that wasn't
Not
it.
that.
That wasn't it at all. I mean, madness from both sides. The Bad News Bears just digging deep when they absolutely needed it to eke out that one round. That's one of those victories that's more relief than any positive feeling, right? It's just, oh, thank God we did not mess that one up. That could have gone so poorly. Team 1, I'm very impressed by a lot of what we saw. Their B-take in particular was well drilled. They abused a lot of the positioning from the Bad News Bears and had that one working out well. But we are going to get one more map, and I have no idea which direction these chips are going to lie. I have gained a healthy respect for both these teams, and Team 1 looked downright dangerous today. We are going to take a break here, folks, before we get ready for that third map. But before we do, we got to talk about the WD Black head-to-head giveaway. This PC, it's a monster, and it can be yours. Just have to head to ibp.gg/WDBlack PC giveaway for a chance to win this absolute monster custom built for the iBUYPOWER Mythic Masters, complete with Peepo over on the side here, John. And the internals, well, they could power a space shuttle.
Oh, yeah, they are fantastic. The Intel i9-12900KF as your CPU, the best gaming CPU on the market, along with that 1 terabyte Western Digital Black 850 SSD, NVMe drive, and of course, to power your frame rates even further, the RTX 3070. This one is a beast, and the Peepo on the side is the cherry on top.
Peepo is always the cherry on top, and it's beautiful. Beautiful PC, man. It really is just quite attractive. So head on over, join the giveaway, give yourselves a chance to win it. You know you're going to want it. You know you want all those RGB fans spinning next to your desk. You want that Peepo to keep you company while you're out fragging, while you're out making moves, while you're out barely closing out games like the Bad News Bears. We are going to head on to Nuke. That's going to be our third and final decider of the evening after this quick break.
It's all original. It's all what? It's all original. It's all what? It's all original. It's all what? It's all original. Styling like a trendsetter. You're a stranger, stuck inside my head. A remainder of a love that died is in. You're a stranger, and there's no point to pretend that you can't hear with me.
Well, all right there. It's time to get back in the action here. One more map between these two teams. It's going to be Nuke to decide it all. After what looked to be a run back from Team 1, they came so close to pushing it to overtime. An incredible T-side from the Brazilian squad to come back from a 10-5 deficit, make it 15-14, and then that's when the Bad News Bears woke up, right? That's when the Bad News Bears shut things down. That's when the Bad News Bears took us through to Nuke. I still can't believe it.
Yeah, to the 30th round, right? Is when they finally woke up at the right time. I mean, look, even Team 1, it goes back to their CT side at the end, right? When they got those 3 rounds to make it 10-5. Could have been a more commanding lead for the Bad News Bears, and then they really turned it up. Took a little bit to get warmed up on their T side, but once they did, man, oh man, was it impressive. That said, we are headed to Nuke, and this is where Team 1's struggles have been very apparent over the last 3 months. If you look at their record, 12 games played, 3 wins, 9 losses, and a round differential of -10. So it has not been pretty for them, especially against teams that are quite good on Nuke and are of a higher caliber or around the same caliber as them. Against the teams that are a little bit less so, yeah, they have won, but I don't know. I'd favor the Bad News Bears here for sure, especially considering that Shake loves to call on Nuke.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. After watching that Ancient game, I don't know what to think, because that game was less predictable than people's appearances on this stream. So I'm just not sure what kind of form we're going to see into Team 1. Those blistering T sides really could present a threat here, and they're going to come in, they're going to pressure Shake Zula early on. The Bad News Bears, that's one of those victories where you don't quite feel good about it. You just feel relieved. Right. So, let's see if they can get some of those positive emotions flowing here, because they're going to need them. Swisher, playing with the doors. Trying to invite them in for a peek. Trying to invite them in for a look-see. Lots of bodies here, and here's going to be the engagement. Swisher will catch the first. He's looking for more as well. Looking to hunt this, looking to fight this on through. Well, they don't quite have it yet. They're flirting with disaster, popping those doors every which way. It has been slow back in for the Bad News Bears, but here come the kills, and it's not too late. It's not too late at all. 4 players stay alive. Team 1 held them at bay, but only for a moment.
That was a great job by the Bad News Bears to attract all the attention towards the double doors, giving Spongy a chance to come in and sneak on through that squeaky door from Decon and do the damage with a couple of frags. Swisher, though, this is a wicked shot to open things up. Not the easiest one to get either. And then even harder is this one entering onto a retake. So, alrighty. Bad news Bears. Get that 1-0 lead. The good news for Team 1, they got the bomb plant. That means they can get some AKs up and running. Malbs and Pace are going to be rocking those. PRT settles for the Galil. And then you have, of course, XNS on the Deagle. Only one player on a pistol, though, because Luke's got that scout in his hand. So very winnable here for Team 1. And the bad news Bears, well, they're ready to win. They got a couple of rifles of their own, and Squish is going to use one already to get Maluk, but the trade from Malbs Jr. towards Big Garage. Now going to fall back from, more towards CT. Maybe have a peek again. There he goes.
Ooh. XNS. Oh, it's Junior who lines it up instead. One got downright dangerous. Junior trying to connect more, but they know they've got him pretty isolated here. Oh, how does he want to play with this? He wants to play with it to his death. Tried to get the headshot. Love the tiny angles he was attempting to take, but Team 1 were wary to it. Now it's an even number situation, but weaponry distinctly favoring the Brazilian squad. Spongy's got the one rifle remaining for the Bad News Bears. He's going to need to put it to great effect, and he's got a lot of responsibility here behind the cooling towers. Doesn't have a lot of support either. There is a player tucked by the squeaky door, but Beebles is not going to be able to help him much. Team 1, I think, are playing this very well to pinch on in towards the site.
Well,
are they eating the kit? What's he trying to do there? Now they're letting so much time go off the clock. 30 seconds. Now the push comes in towards Hell. They may have missed their window. They may have missed their moment. The MP9 chases one back. They've got to go. They don't have options about this. They're going to come over the lip, and Spongy, he finds the first. The second as well. Bomb drop. That could be it. That could be it, and Spongy takes all three. Team 1, it seemed like they were going to pinch into sight, but for whatever reason, they decided to back off of the mini approach and just all go in from heaven.
yeah, I was going to say, as you mentioned that, I looked at the time on the clock and said, okay, well, you got to make your move now. And then they didn't. And after that, they just ran out of time to make this push. I mean, when you're up against it with 18 seconds left, you make a more rushed play. You don't take your time. And that gives Spongy the edge in that situation, which is why he gets that 3K. And he's up to 5-0 as a result. Team 1, well, the AKs, the Leals, they don't work out. So now they're back to the pistols. 2 Deagles, 2 P250s, and the Glock. No utility, no body armor. They're going to charge right in towards lobby. That's a great smoke thrown by the Bad News Bears. Shake tossing that forward, and it isolates Team 1 back towards lobby because they cannot push through that. They know that Shake is waiting with that MP9. Oh. Yeah, that would be nice.
Oh. PIT. Nice kill there. Wins out a duel against a rifle. Junior, a little bit of a fumble. Could put them in a rough situation. Could be rough. But they've got a dynamic duo here in Mini. They're going to be able to police outside, play back in. Once these smokes fade, these could get dangerous. Beebles has come all in. They're playing the buddy system. They don't want to get just run over. It almost feels like Beebles wants to get aggressive. What's going on here? Swisher's collected outside. That's the first player down. Here comes the hit. That's the bomb delivered, and they will shut it on down. So Junior is the only casualty of the round. It seemed like a moment where things might get risky, but Bad News Bears partnering up. They do see this one through.
Now's where it gets interesting, of course, as Team 1 are onto the rifles. AKs across the board, full utility. They can make a proper execute. Let's see where they send it. We got 2 players going to lobby, and it looks like they want to make noise. They want to throw the wall of smokes towards outer yard. Let's just try to bait some presence from the Bad News Bear. The actual hit, it's coming to A, and XNS walks in and gets 2 like it's nothing. Spongy, the last one standing, does get 1, needs a second, can't get it. PRT drops him. That's a 4v2. And that's the round likely signed, sealed, and delivered by Team 1.
Should just about be, and the economy hasn't had a chance to really blossom, so there's even an argument to say the op in particular valuable, but Sheikh Zula with the MP9. Look, if you're not going to go for it, it's time to get the heck out of Dodge. Those nades certainly making an even riskier prospect, and Junior's tucked into the big garage, so he's not risking this. Sheikh Zula presumably done as well. There's a player Hell. Maluk could really make their lives difficult, but he's not going to press on forward. He's clearing out the orange box instead, trying to hunt for these guns. And that is going to be the Bad News Bears conceding 1 round. But admittedly, it was a bit bonus. So provided they can get an investment going in this next, it shouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, Spongy did a pretty decent job trying to hold the fort. He was just overloaded. Great execute by Team 1. They went for the quick hit, and it worked out. Will it work again? I'm not too sure. You know, once you kind of spend that strat out of your book, and the CT start to expect it. Bad News Bears is going to call a timeout. They want to talk things over here, Mike, and it looks like they've invested into the round with 2 MP9s, the M4, the A1S, and the AWP, and Peepo.
This is like a Peepo screensaver?
Yeah.
Peepo DVD bounce?
I want him to hit the corner now.
Let's see. Is he going to bounce?
Come
Or
on.
is he just going to keep going? Ah, yes. Peepo screensaver. All right. Perfect. When my grandparents for a long time had a really old Apple computer. I don't remember what exactly it was. Old Macintosh. And it had a screensaver with, it was fish in an aquarium. And then occasionally, like fish would just, occasionally a toaster with wings would fly across. Very, very, very occasionally. Oh.
Sorry, Mike. I was just waiting for him to hit the corner there. So.
Never going to hit the corner, man. Never going to hit the corner. If he hits the corner, the stream just ends. Zula getting aggressive with this MP9, but utility in is going to come back. And they're going to throw their own flash. That's 1. Almost a 2nd. So much damage done. Malbs. Molly comes in. He's done for, but it doesn't go deep. It doesn't go deep. And Malbs, at least for now, is not cowed. But that nade. That nade will put the finishing blow on. He was so low. So low. PRT's walked in many. No one's watching outside. No one had responsibility for this. They were completely distracted coming back through, and this is a problem. Swisher now coming in to enforce a little bit of order. How did he manage to just walk in? Maluk in a 1v2. Trying to bring this back through, even if he just does damage. It's so rough already for the Bad News Bears. And he's looking to creep his way on down in towards Secret. No one's watching this. They're both tucked up in. It's going to be the peak and the shots. But the shot does not connect, and he's down. He's down with a chance to make some noise because they're going to be a little slow to rotate. Here comes the maneuver. And actually, someone's already posted up. It's Junior. With that all. As Maluk emerges, he will be dead to rights. Junior not missing that one, given his 2nd opportunity. And that is going to be the Bad News Bears to find 4.
Great hold by the Bad News Bears. That nade helping out, of course. And then B Wills locking it down onto that A site. Good recovery from Swisher, of course, because, you know, there was a lot of damage done by Team 1 onto that A site. But he is on it. Of course, he's able to secure it as it's 4-1 in favor of the Bad News Bears, and timeout called by Team 1. That round victory isolated, and their economy actually not too shabby. You know, they were able to build up a little bit, so they should be able to buy up the AKs here, no problem. PRT will have to settle for a Galil, but everyone else will be on the AK-47. On the Bad News Bears, well, they only have a couple of players left to buy up, and they will certainly be okay as well.
Like Malbs' glasses. It's a good look. I don't feel like I don't think I can rock the circle frames. I don't think they look good for me, but I like them. I think they look good for Malbs.
Yeah.
It's all about face shape.
I was going to say the exact same thing. It really does.
See, I've got a huge head. My head is just massive. So I have to, whenever I like buy glasses, I have to get wide fit frames. And I feel like the chonkier frames look good for me.
I feel like your head is massive, Mike. I'm just gonna be honest there.
You'd be surprised. Just trust me. When I like put on a hat, gotta just, you know, a ball cap. If someone else has been wearing it, just take it out to its maximum.
Really?
Yeah, I got a big head.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
I actually so there's an online glasses ordering site that I use, and I cannot wear anything lower than their wide frames or extra wide frames. My head just too fat.
Look at
PRT. Oh my God, he's got so much control. He knows the player's here. He wants 2 though. He's gained all this ground. He hears the player next to him. He hears the player next. Oh.
I like this place so much.
What? There's no way they expect it. He's got 2.
He's gonna
right.
push.
Oh, and he's got it. He's got it as well. Now they've got the site for free. This bomb's going down. PRT, the patient play, doesn't even strike till he's seen his next set of players. And Swisher even gets collective because, of course, PRT will have calmed this. Such a beautiful maneuver for PRT. And Team 1 take the round as a result. He's gotten so far forward and just the trigger discipline, man. It's incredible.
That's fantastic. So many players be tempted to say, you know what, I need to get this frag. It'll look bad if I don't. But at the end of the day, it's about the long game. And man, did PRT play it well. Snuck right into heaven, waited until his team was in a position to strike, and then took down both players, making the bomb plant easy peasy lemon squeezy. Shake and Junior, last two standing, and Junior does hit a tough shot on X&S up close and personal. A lot of bomb plant damage, bomb explosion damage taken by the Bad News Bears, but they still keep 2 out of that round. This was just wow.
I mean, the kills are good, but it's the maneuver to get
Yes.
them. It's just incredible. Incroyable. Just nuts. Bonkers. The mind, it baffles. It's going to be an investment into this round. There was a double eco for several players, so they're going to risk it for the biscuit in this one. Why not? They've got the 2 guns to build around. Try and keep Team 1 off of their backs. Oh, B-Wills might have had a chance. Would have had a fight for sure, and he backs away from it. And instead, they swing on out. Opportunity missed. It knocked. Spongy is overwhelmed. Swisher down as well. This round's over. Shake Zula and Junior likely just going to set up to save once more. Nothing doing, nothing showing into this one. And I mean, that initial drop from the hut was just so unfortunately timed for B-Wolves. Wasn't prepared at all for the play through Squeaky, and Team 1 hit the accelerator when Bad News Bears least expect it.
Now, this is great news for Team 1. Bad News Bears were up 4-1. They really could have started to tack on those CT rounds, but Team 1 get a big maneuver from PRT to take that previous one in here while they just go on into the site and have things run their way. Junior is going to get a couple here, so he's making the round expensive for Team 1, who are continuing to chase. They know how valuable these guns are for the Bad News Bears, but they are not giving them up without a fight. Junior spot out X&S here, but no. Bad News Bears save the 2 rifles, and, well, I mean, Team 1, they do win the round, and they will be able to buy up again here. It was more expensive for them than it was for the Bears.
Minimal investment to this one. Obviously, you're just gonna put some little utility maybe around the 2 guns that you got. See what you can't do. Swisher picks up Deeg. See if they can yield anything out of this one. Oh my goodness. What a bold play with your 1 rifle. Xula committed as well, and it's just not going to work out. Team 1 goes straight into the fire. Junior not expecting everybody to be around that squeaky door. And this will be the round claimed by Team 1. Swisher even with a nade at his feet to add insult to injury and minimize any possible chance he would have had at taking this through.
That's just unlucky. You know, you go for the aggressive play, and then everyone's literally waiting for you as you open the door. Swisher's fully blinded, and yeah, X&S easily gets the quad kill. He's up to 9, and Team 1 have tied this one up at 4. PRT, yeah, see him there. Drop and Shake Zula, and it's just easy for Team 1 after they take down the big green gun in Junior's hands. Timeout going to be called by the Bad News Bears. They're reeling a little bit, losing 3 rounds in a row, but that was just an eco, and now they'll be back to more than likely a buy-up with the A1Ss, and even Junior can afford the big green with the body armor. Might be a little light on utility, but still, that big green gun's more important to have in your hands. Team 1 making the push on their T side. We've talked about it many times before, Mike, but on Nuke, T side, 6 rounds is really that sweet spot that you want to hit.
Yep.
5 is good, but 6 is just great.
It's not bad. I lose stickers on the AK here from all.
There's a gap in that smoke.
It's a small one, yeah. I think if Junior was down on ground level, maybe he would have been able to spot an ankle. But as it is, PRT does get down. I think that might. I don't think there's that much of a gap, actually.
I think they saw them because there was spam coming through as soon as the player crossed. So I'm pretty sure one player was at least seen going into secret, and that's PRT. Or perhaps just heard. Either way.
Something happened there.
Yeah,
An
yeah.
inkling. The hair stood up on one of the player's arms. I knew. It pointed the direction. Spidey sense. Do you think
Very nice.
Spidey sense would translate into a digital video game? Probably not, right? I think it has to be present danger to the possessor of the Spidey sense.
But is it technically not? What? Maybe in VR, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
But then how would it work in VR, right? Because it wouldn't be able to actually detect. I mean, I'm not clear how it's supposed to work in the comics either. That's magic. Pasadelo is going to magically acquire himself an opening pick. No Spidey sense required. They're trying to push in to fight him, and they will succeed. Nicely done to chase that. Still, the hit's coming in towards A, and B-Wills will have to hold the line out of the hut. He keeps just popping on, out, and collecting kills. Big effort from B-Wills to make this possible for his teammates, but they're going to have to mount a retake. Junior's clearing back into that hut. Where is Sheikh Zula going? It's always been this tandem because they're stuck on towards lower most of the time. They've got that responsibility being the ramp players, but a fight on into hut comes to them, and
Why?
Maluk does more. He was expecting Junior to be repositioning, to be unscoped, to be something, and it does not work out. The chase to try and net that kill, it falters them. Well, it's going to be the round found for the Bad News Bears. Keep themselves in the lead. A massive play from Junior as well.
But why do it? Why go for it? You have two players. I mean, look, I know you have an answer, Mike, but my
Sure.
opinion personally is that they should have just hung back a little bit, waited for Junior to come to them, because the op entering from hut is a lot less dangerous than walking into their crosshair, pushing out of hut.
So, to be fair, they didn't know Junior was there, so I think they were probably trying to establish
Once
the lobby
you-
as a point of control to play the post. But
Right. But
what I will say is, you mean once the first player goes down,
yeah.
I think the logic there from Luke is he needs to kill one player to be able to play the 1v2, and he knows one is isolated. I don't think it's necessarily the correct read. Obviously, it doesn't work out for him. But there's a logic to it.
I get it. Let's still look.
Especially if with an opera, you know, if he's chambering around, if he's swinging around to look for Squeaky or something like that, there's always that possibility. But Junior does not flinch at all.
No, he's too good.
XNS out, XNS dead. B-Will's having a good couple of rounds here. And this time he stays alive as well. Swisher will burn, but he'll get himself a kill. And there's the bomb. Spongy's up the vent in the meanwhile. And there's a player up in the rafters. That player is Junior. All onto PRT now. PRT is going to try and pull off this play again. And somehow I don't think they're going to let him pull this one twice. But he's got pretty far. Coming into heaven now. Look, Sheikh Zula's watching for the wrap to come back in from ramp, so maybe they're wary of this. Yeah, B-Wills is watching it, but B-Wills is still going to drop PRT. Doing some damage here, 30 seconds. Round, not necessarily a possibility, especially with 1 point of health, and down he goes. An op bullet onto a 1 HP player. Just demolishes him.
Alrighty, so the Bad News Bears build off of that nice retake, or perhaps gifted retake, whichever way you want to look at it, and they get another round off of it, 6-4, and they force Team 1 onto a pistol buy-up. 2 Deagles, 2 Tech 9s, and the Glock. Bad News Bears looking to make it 7. And they got the double op setup. Sheikh Zula likely in B ramp with that AWP, and he absolutely is. Could get the opener. That's actually Junior, and Sheikh misses his chance at the shot, but he has the information and wisely falls off of that position, throws the smoke to guise his retreat, and Maluk's going to try charging on forward towards Hell, but Junior has Hell to deliver towards them with 2 frags to his name, and Pesa and Mobs, well, they're not going to challenge Junior any further. I think they've had enough of his op at this point.
Yeah, to say the least. Swisher. Gonna collect 2 nice, easy kills down towards lower, and the Bad News Bears have now started to establish this as a serious CT defense. Junior is finding every possible edge around that smoke and making it work for him. He has distinctly warmed up into this match. 14
Yes.
and 3 now, John.
Yeah, he had a good ancient, though, I have to say. It was a vast improvement over pretty much every other map that we've seen him on. So that's great.
We'll see if he can keep up this fine form on Nuke. Certainly looking that way. Nade could be challenged. Just crashing space as he makes his way through, and that flashbang is so good. But Pace is a little isolated from his teammates, and as they try and chase on in, they're losing the exchanges. They're losing this trade battle even further as Spongy takes a fight with the player in hot. Mobs making some noise, but look at the health. Look at the health. It's abysmal. Junior's just got the pistol. Is he going to realize the player's across? Oh, he got the first, but he doesn't know the other's behind him. Mobs has a chance at this round.
What?
He's choosing wrong. He's going towards lower, and Shake Zula has read this like a book. Tech9, all that's required of him, and there's going to be the shot, and there's going to be the kill. Shake's got it. The spam to let him know. Oh my, that exchange in Squeaky was insane. Junior had no idea Mobs had slipped right past him.
Oh, man. Ah, Malbs, ever the sneaky one. He finds a way, at least to get two, but at the end of the day, it's Shake reading him, as you mentioned, aptly, like a book. Alrighty, the Bad News Bears at least going to secure a lead heading into this second half with the 8 rounds picked up, and Team 1 again relegated down to pistols only. 3 Tech-9s, the P-50 and the Deagle. They're trying for this quick get onto the A side. B-Will's aware of it. He gets one, but Malbs the immediate trade with that Desert Eagle. B-Will's waiting for more action as Spongy connects with the HE grenade, but it's Malbs! Finds another one. Pace has also got the information. He snuck through. Mike is going for the knife. And he finds on Junior. Picks up the op instantaneously. Flashbang thrown. Team 1 have put a spanner into the works. Shake does manage to calm things down a little bit. But Team 1 have managed to make their way to this B site. Oh my goodness. That is the second time Team 1's been able to sneak on through.
What is this round? What is this round? It's madness. Madness incarnate. Pesa now by the shutters. Okay, Shake Zula's going to open the double doors here in just a moment. Oh, timing. Might work out. The X-ray, though, is not something he can see, and now he opens it, but it's a little too late. The repositioning's already come through. The Tech-9, though, not good for it. They will eventually deal with him. Now they're going to get a smoke on towards that bomb. It's an op to watch, but they just need to get that tap on in, and Shake Zula will get the kill even better. Is there time? There is. Just barely, but it's enough. 9 rounds found. Team 1 nearly completely upset the apple cart in that one.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, they deserved it. Because that was a heck of a play again by Pace at a sneak on through. Finds a knife, builds up a ton of money in his bank account at the very least, sitting at 7.2K. And Team 1, well, they're going to call a timeout to talk things over because I think they felt like they should have gotten that one. And there were a few shots missed that perhaps should have connected in the post plant. That said, the Bad News Bears do move up to 9. They're trying to get to double digits on their CT side. Ooh. Oh boy, that was very spicy though.
It was. It was indeed. My goodness, I'm still recovering from it.
Yeah.
Knives in. Still, the money made is nice. Pesa, despite being fully bought in here, almost fully bought in. Missing one nade. What do you want? You got 2K to spare. Apparently, he doesn't want that last nade. Oh! That'll wake you up, chat. Started to doze off. Depot. Lurking. So he's gonna get down the van. Eventually, Pesa finds it. Eventually, finds the space. Always a little awkward when you get lost in the smoke. And Malouk with an opener. Okay, all right. Op's been quiet, to say the least. It hasn't been Malouk's game just yet, but that could be a big pick for them. It brings out Swisher as well, the frequent mini player. Shizula's positioned down towards lower. Junior with responsibility of ramp, already starting to float on down, and there's heavy presence outside. It is interesting that the Bad News Bears have not necessarily threatened outside as often as you would expect. Like not much outside aggression from them coming through.
But I mean, it has worked out for them.
Oh, the spot. Shake Zula knows. Shake Zula knows. And that's going to be the kill taken through. So Pesadelo now cannot group up with his team. They're all coming down, but they've only got the one prong. There is no man behind enemy lines. It's a dangerous position to be behind enemy lines. Sometimes those lines close.
I mean, you have PRT watching your flank right now.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps he could do some damage if the bad news bears rotate from outside, but I think he needs to help out on this push for Team 1 so they can get on in here because Sheikh Zula's watching, ready, and waiting with the A1S. Smoke comes through, but he can just rotate around from Silo. He gets one on Mobs, hugs the edge of the smoke, and finally does go down, but Junior's ready and waiting. He gets the op frag. Bomb gonna get planted. Man advantage for the bad news bears, and here's where PRT comes in.
This is kind of out of positioning, so it's just kind of like they're playing the same spot. They both come into decon despite all that lurking. Didn't actually get him behind anyone. Might as well have been the same thing. Look at the face. Maluk trying to pepper out a shot, but they might just start to get on the defuse. That's exactly what they're going to do. Smoke to obscure it. Here they're going to start to tap. Maluk makes the play, but he's got the lineup. Does indeed. Now it's all onto Maluk, and once again, he's just going to try and make that lineup happen. Oh, he finds one. Does he think he has the planter? He does. Is that enough time?
I don't know.
I think it is. No. Just literally half a second. Half a second there. Maluk tried his best, railing shots through the smoke, trying to keep them in this. He opened it up, and he just nearly clutched it, but it's double digits instead for the Bad News Bears.
Every single frag in that round from Maluk through a smoke. I mean, unbelievable. He almost got that last one too. Some excellent movement, but Spongy just aware enough to spray him down. Oh boy. Team 1 cannot crack 4 rounds in this half. Bad News Bears up to double digits. It's the last chance for the Brazilian squad, at least in this half. Junior, boost it on top of that roof. That's the big garage, and he hits the head of PRT. That is not an easy shot, but Junior will make it work to give his team the early man advantage. And now Team 1, you see Mobs, he falls off of that. He knows there's not enough presence towards outer yard to give him a chance to take down Junior.
Smoke's going to come down for outside. This time, Junior's going to get aggressive ahead of them. This
like
is
this.
a change-up pitch. We really haven't seen this. They've been given their space here. And you can see Mobs comes around the corner with utility. They're not expecting red box aggression at all. Swisher's even down below the silo, down below in the shadow of the Schmallow. So now they've got complete outside control. They've completely denied this. There's nothing that Team 1 can hope to do except rip Sheikh Zula's head from his shoulders. Okay, Maluk. Okay. On in he goes. It's now going to be majorly problematic. Junior does get a trade, but he's down immediately. Still an advantage for the Bad News Bears. Doors open. That's awkward. Trying to turn around. Spongy can't find it. It's going to be left to Swisher and B-Wills to attempt to recover this round. A lot of noise being made here. Makes it looking like he wants this fight. As soon as this door opens, he's going to be right in their face. Swisher. Through, but the back is turned. They don't realize the player's in control. What is this? Molly forces him to come back around. Pesa will have to fight for the double doors. Now he's going to drop the Molotov, but they were already on. Does this spread to cover the bomb? Actually, I think it does. No, they're going to get that defuse. What did that Molly do?
I think he just missed the mark.
Unfortunate they're trying to do it so quick. That's going to be an 11-4 as we head into the halftime break. Obviously, when you're in that double doors, you're trying to throw the Molotov, right? You got to be super quick about it because you know if you leave that door open too long or if you stay out, you're going to die. And just in that quick toss, it goes awry. It doesn't deny the space, and the Bad News Bears have it. So a dominant CT showing from them, a strong defense. It's not great for Team 1, but they're no strangers to the comeback here, John.
I just love the way Swisher played that, though. He threw the flashbang on the run to kind of, I guess, guise the footsteps a little bit, enough, of course, so that they couldn't realize where he actually ended up, and they walked back turn, towards observation, and he managed to deal the killing blow at the end of the day. So, good job by the Bad News Bears, 11-4 half on their CT side. That is exactly what you want to do on Nuke.
It certainly is. It certainly is, and it's a good way to put the shall we say, memory of the almost comeback on Ancient out of your mind to be like, okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. We almost choked that. We didn't choke that. Now we got Nuke, and clearly Nuke is playing out to plan. Now, it's just a question of whether they're going to be able to get those rounds on the T side, right?
Oh,
Team 1.
Yes, it is.
Trying to rock on through as the Peepo screensaver has come back up. Peepo saver. Or is it Screen Peepo? Screen Peepo or Peepo saver?
I think Screen Peepo.
Screen Peepo.
But let's see.
What does Chad think?
There's no corner coming in here. I'm disappointed.
It's not happening. You don't have the
Not even
geometry.
close.
Not even close. I mean, eventually you'll find a corner, presumably.
Yes. Just not now.
Not now. Not here, not now.
Bad News Bears going out aggressively here, though, Mike. They're on to the A side already. Good flashbang thrown. Mobs gets overloaded. XNS as well. Maluk does manage to get one. Can't get anything else, though. And the Bad News Bears storm on through. Bomb going to be planted. This is almost certainly going to be a 12th round because Pesa doesn't really have much visibility onto the site. PRT neither. They will group up together. They have to isolate 1v1s, though, and ensure a trade comes through. There's one. Pesa dropping Swisher. Can he get more than that? Trying to clear out all the angles. They don't have the kit either, so they have to hurry up. That missed shot could cost them, and it does. Shake gets one. Pace has to reload, and he will go down to Shake as well. The BM is flying forward here from the Bad News Bears as they get their 12th mic.
There you go. 12 rounds on the board for the Bad News Bears. A big pistol round win, and this is their second pistol of the game as well. So things could not really be playing out better for the Bad News Bears to set them up to take this. SMG's out. Return of the Mac. 3 of them, actually. Many Macs. You know, that's when Bad News Bears are going to start their music career. They'll have Mac Moores.
Oh boy, Mike.
Yeah, that was a stretch.
A little bit.
That was a Mr. Fantastic level stretch. Here they go. There's one player outside here by the red box. Pesadillo trying to take this fight. He might find the flank. Going through the smoke. Behind him, everything. Knifes out. Oh, he's been knifed. And the trade is there. Junior. He started swinging. He knew he was a dead man. Had to try and get a little stab in there. With his pants around his ankles. He will get it on with the scout. There's a second one as well. Well done for the scout of Maluk, but the problem is nobody's left to capitalize. My goodness. Those were some very nice tags, but they're not going to be able to do anything with them. They'll have to back away and try and save. We will say Maluk with a scout. Tends to be pretty darn dangerous.
Oh boy. Well, makes sense for team. Oh my goodness, Swisher. Settle down, sir. Takes the head off of Maluk through the box, and he will get the last one too. There you go. The Swishmeister getting a 3K there, ensuring no save will come through at all for Team 1. This was crazy, honestly. Pesa coming through the smoke. Junior's just like, I don't know what to do. This is not what I expected. And, well, at the end of the day, Bad News Bears still win it. Seems like Junior is always getting into those awkward situations, doesn't it?
It does. This map, at least, not so many awkward situations. He's 20-9.
Yeah.
20 kills through 17 rounds. This time he's rocking the rifle as well. Going to blow the squeaky door. Ooh, PRT out in the open. He is done right away. First sacrifice. Okay, a little bit of danger, a little bit of damage. Certainly it's time to be a bit less cavalier about your approach. Mobs has a deagle as well. It is Mobs with a deagle. Always a threat. Group up towards mini. There is a gap in this mini smoke that Maluk is trying to exploit, but no one's giving him the open for it. Okay, there it is. There it is. He realized the player was boosted up over the control. Sorry, not control. The cooling tower panel. Word, they fail me sometimes. Molly to try and force him out. That's been salvaged. They've got a rifle now. They're battling this in. They don't have the time, and there's the lineup from the hut. Junior capitalizes. And while that may not have been as pretty as it should have been, the Bad News Bears still find round 14.
Wow. This is a dominant performance from the Bad News Bears. That said, Team 1 are going to be on their first rifle buy-up of this second half. They got 4 A1Ss and the big green in the hands of Maluk. Junior already going to line up the smoke to be thrown to the outer yard. Not sure if the Bad News Bears are going to do anything off of it, but they do have Shake on top of Marshmallow having a peek. Certainly want to give Team 1 something to think about at the very least. And XNS is going to spam on through this smoke into Squeaky Door. There's that wall of smoke's being thrown. And I do believe that's the wall of smokes between mini and big garage. It is. That gives you a little more space to maneuver. And Shake Zula gonna be hugging up close. Pace sees over top of it though and takes down Swisher. Trade comes through. Good heads up play by B-Wills.
It's always a risk when your position's been known to go on top of that garage roof, right? That's such a tough spot to not have be a one and done. Going back up there is bold, to say the least. Now, to be fair to Team 1, bold moves right now, so you can't blame him too much. Good shot. Ripper, but now he's being pressured. Does he want to go for another swing? He does, and he's good for it. Oh, just playing the crack there. Maluk might just have given them a chance at this round. Junior and Shake Zula will try and bring it back and whack. If they could just do some economic damage, it wouldn't be the worst. But a chance at the round is slipping away. Junior has the bomb. It's outside here. What a shot. Looking for more. Surviving for now. The threat comes from Mini. Down lower. If he can work his way. That's a secret. This round gets interesting. Shake Zula's gone all the way through to ramp. Mobs is watching for it. Does he have this read? Shake Zula's now made footsteps. Now he definitely has this read. Mob's ready for it every day of the week. He's going to get the knife. Knife? No, it just goes for the kill. Thinks better of it. 5 seconds left. Junior's not going to be able to win the round, but he just might be able to save this AK. And indeed, he gets a little lob upgrade.
I guess Mobs might have been waiting for time to run out on the round. And then I would have punished Shake even more. But instead, goes for the frag and gets traded out by Junior. That said, Team 1, good defense. Rifles come through. And they find themselves a 5th. Still going to be a very tall hill to climb. But like you always say, Mike, I think it's a one step. I can't think of it right now. You know,
Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
There we go. My brain is very tired, but that was
a quote from the fantastic game Pharaoh. Wonderful.
Here we go.
Timeout called by the Bad News Bears. Peepo Saver back up. Oh man, I have been replaying Pharaoh actually because I found out that there's a port on Steam, and here's the thing about old games. Is they're hard, man. They don't hold your hand in the way that a lot of games do now. Like, this is an old city builder, and once you get through the first few missions where they're like teaching you what to do, the missions get hard. Like, you usually fail it one time before you can figure things out at minimum. It's tough.
It is. They're very difficult. There's no doubt about it. I kind of like that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Players figure it out themselves. It doesn't.
You feel
happen
legitimately accomplished when you succeed.
Yes. Give them the tools and let them go forth and find their way. Look at the damage taken early on here by the Bad News Bears. Great work by Team 1 to hold them at bay. Shake down to 14. Junior below half health and Swisher at 75. Bad News Bears going to try to take outer once more. They will get that wall of smokes thrown. It's pretty effective. So they'll be able to move their way into secretly. Shake will. And despite the fact that they have low HP, still all 5 players standing.
Yonya. Looking to find this fight outside. Maluk is tucked in by the blue boxes. Over by spawn. Actually, it's an orange box. I misread the color of this box. He's going to have a target presented to him. Swisher. It's completely isolated as well, so no one can follow that up. No one can make a trade there. He's gonna knock a couple low. Only one. Good turn from B-Wills. Figures out where the player actually was rather quickly. This bomb's going down. 22 seconds to spare. But do they have a healthy player still to defend this? It will try. It will be challenging. Junior posted up. He could start to drop the bodies as they come around, but he's wary about his flank, and he'll come off the angle at the wrong time. That's when they come through. Spongy connects with the AK. They need Junior to make his presence felt, and he's going to do exactly that. Spongy from the rat hole. He's going to be able to nail through the shot. What on earth? What a play. Spongy and Junior, it looked like they were out of position. It looked like that was going to be a rough effort, but they just instantly turn it on its head. Instantly bring it back and whack to secure map and series point for the Bad News Bears. Playoff point. One more round of the next 10. And the Bad News Bears are our final playoff team here. iBUYPOWER Mythic Masters. They are punch their ticket in for a chance at the share of the $100,000 prize.
This is just really impressive. Junior is going to get the opener here on X&S for his squad, but Pesa trades it right on back, so the man advantage in favor of Team 1. Only briefly, Shake and Swisher come through and get a couple. This one could be over right here, right now. Pesa tagged through the smoke, but Luke is gone. It's all up to Pesadello. 46 HP and AK in his hands to keep his team alive and kicking here in the iBUYPOWER Mythic Masters. Otherwise, the Bad News Bears are bound for a date with the Party Astronauts in the playoffs as the bomb goes down here, Mike.
It's actually a $50,000 prize. I got a little excited there. But it is still a massive pool of money, and Shake Zula wants his share of it. He wants that cash. He wants that round. He wants that win. They will be propelled straight into the playoffs. The Bad News Bears, it was a battle to get here. It was a brutal slog. They nearly saw it all fall apart on Ancient with that improbable comeback coming in from Team 1, but they managed to do it. They managed to do it, and then they show up their form on Nuke. They look so dang good. So it's a long series. They've absolutely earned it, but they have earned their spot in the playoffs here, John.
Yeah, and Nuke continues to be a struggle for Team 1, unfortunately, as they are finding their way out of this tournament, sadly. They played a really good BO3 here tonight. It just kind of a Nuke. It fell apart. And Bad News Bears, to their credit, played it really well. And also, you know, that missed op shot on Mirage, well, now you don't have to think about it, right? I'm going to come back to it. You knew I was going to. But
You just can't get it past this, man.
It's in the
just can't let this
rearview
go.
mirror. It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter because they came back, took Ancient, and of course, Nuke, a dominant victory. You'll love to see it. And of course, what we also love to see is another Party Astronauts Bad News Bears match.
That is on the
Yes.
card in the playoffs. That's going to be an exciting one here, folks. You're not going to want to miss it. Tomorrow, we're bringing you all of the playoff action, both semifinals and then the grand final as well. Who's going to take that top prize? Who's going to take first place? Who's going to be the first iBUYPOWER Mythic Masters champion? The first iBUYPOWER Masters champion in a long time, not since, I want to say, the beginning of 2019.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's been a while.
I think it's been a long time since we had an iBUYPOWER Masters, maybe even earlier than that. So the return of the iBUYPOWER Masters, the iBUYPOWER Mythic Masters at that, and you crown yourself the first champion of such a fantastic event for NA. Here's our playoff bracket. Party Astronauts, Bad News Bears. On the other side, MIBR, Extra Salt. Ooh, that's going to be an interesting duel as well.
Oh, my goodness.
I am very excited to see who's going to actually end up in our grand finals here.
This is a fantastic lineup for the playoffs. It was already a fantastic lineup even before we got there, but it gets better. I don't think we're going to see anything less than 9 maps tomorrow, honestly, looking at these types of matchups. It would surprise me if we got some TOs. It's going to be very tightly contested.
Yeah. I'm so ready for it. I'm so ready for it. So it's just one more sleep, folks. It's one more sleep to the playoffs. We're just going to have to say goodnight, and then tomorrow, playoff action. That's all we have to wait for. So before we let you go, remember, there is a giveaway going on, and this giveaway is redonkulous. It's the iBUYPOWER WD Black head-to-head custom-built PC to celebrate the iBUYPOWER Mythic Masters. This thing is a beast. It's a beautiful titan. So head on over to ibp.gg/WD Black PC giveaway for your chance to win this monstrosity. It's got a top-of-the-line Intel processor. It's got a 3070 in the graphics card slot. It's got the WD Black top-end NVMe SSD, 1 terabyte of that memory coming through, and it's got a peepo on the side. What more could you want from a PC, John?
I mean, I gotta be honest, not much. It's incredible. More peepos? Yeah, maybe a line of peepos at the bottom. We can have one of each of the peepos, a mythic peepo, a iBUYPOWER Masters peepo, maybe the champion of the tournament will get its own peepo. That'd be cool.
Infinite peepos.
Yeah.
Infinite peepos. Infinite computing power, infinite peepos. That's what's going to happen here. So make sure you head to that leak. Make sure you go on over. That leak will be in chat as well. Make sure you give yourself a chance to get the iBUYPOWER Mythic Masters PC. I mean, this thing is just a thing of beauty. You'll look at it, you'll think fondly back to the Mythic Masters every time you use your PC. Every time you hit the power button. What better way to celebrate gaming and NACS than to have an iBUYPOWER Mythic Masters PC. We are going to wrap up the show for the evening. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for the playoffs. You're not going to want to miss it. See you then. Adios.